for the next generation. It starts with immersion. Taking a step back in time, we looked at the Orpheum's original hand-drawn plans. They gave us context of a grand design and an intent to fully immerse the audience. An atmospheric garden oasis was beautifully created in this space. Surrounded by Spanish medieval, Baroque-style architecture, murals of mountains and forests under a deep blue domed sky. It was hailed an architectural and artistic marvel, expressing modern theater at its finest. We were inspired to marry today's technology to that original intent. Taking a step forward, we gathered sounds that are true to Arizona, mixing and layering hours of recordings, achieving realism to surround our audience. The domed sky is further brought to life, where advanced lighting and visuals are meticulously synced to captured sounds. Witness dusk till dawn and the expanse of our universe. All this magic to honor the Orpheum's original intent for audiences to lose themselves in this garden oasis and be drawn closer to the performance. These efforts are a nod to the Orpheum's history and performances past, present, and future. As stewards of this historic space, we look forward to welcoming you and walking beside you, one step into history, one step into the future.
My name is Destiny Sire. I'm a management assistant in the Director's Office of the Human Services Department. The City of Phoenix Management Fellowship Program is a year-long program that allows folks with any graduate degree to come in, and it's like an introductory program for folks looking to get into local government. Throughout the time, you have 3 different rotations. And you have interdepartmental projects as well that you assist in, as well as assisting in council projects. It really just gives you a feel of what it's like to work in the public sector for those with limited experience before, and to develop your leadership skills. You know, my background is largely in social work, so I have my master's in social work and I have my master's in public administration. And so I really wanted to get into macro level work, and it really allowed me to utilize both my social work skills and my public administration skills, like, to a T, especially within this position and everything I was working on during my management fellowship. It was very enjoyable, and I am so grateful for it. Since it's been around for 75 years, you find prior fellows that have been here 25 years plus that started in the fellowship program and are wanting to support you and hear you out and help you. Last year, the City of Phoenix and Mayor Kate Gallego, it was really important for them to focus on mental health. And so us as a department had a community resource fair at our Travis L. Williams Family Service Center. And we brought together over 20 agencies from around the community. We had over 200 people come to the resource fair to get resources. We were able to really cover it all and had a really good turnout for the first time ever. So it was very, very neat. That was probably one of my favorite projects. I feel like the fellowship is so unique, where you don't need to come from a public administration background. What I think is important about the fellowship program is that it allows a route for everyone to come in. No matter your background, you could still find your place in the city. And it's important that you do. I just really think the City of Phoenix Management Fellowship is so special for those that are looking to impact their community. And it really puts you in a position to just keep on growing and learning more in your career, especially if you're looking to stay in local government. So what I would say to someone that's applying is just to reach out. We're excited to talk to you, excited to have the community learn more about the program, because we're really looking for everyone. We're looking for you. So.
The City of Phoenix Partner with the Principal program pairs local leaders with school principals to spark ideas, build relationships, and create real impact for students across the city. And after a day in the life experience, everyone gathered at GCU to continue discussions on how to turn inspiration into action, building partnerships that strengthen our schools and future workforce. Here's a look at some of those partnerships.
Last year was my first year of doing the Partner with a Principal program through the City of Phoenix, and it led to a wonderful partnership with At the Outlet, who ended up coming to work with us and our students every Friday at our Family Choice Friday.
This was our first time being part of this program. We got to come and take a tour. Principal Schneckloff told us some of the things that she was looking for, and it seemed like we were a good match and a good fit, and we got right to work.
Students had wonderful opportunities through the arts, whether it was pom, dance, vocal, drumline, but they build in a lot of life and social skills within their musical and arts instruction that the students really benefited from and just absolutely loved the experience.
They teach us dances, they help us if we don't know, if we forget, they help us until we actually know it. I think it's like good practice because I want to be like a singer and a dancer, and all the coaches were supportive, and we always had like a performance in front of our parents in the school, and it felt so good because they would clap for us.
Once they start seeing that they're good at something, they start excelling at other areas as well, because it helps boost their confidence.
They weren't just working on the skills of the arts, they were also bringing in that social and character development throughout their instruction, and I think that's where those relationships truly get built.
We get to actually practice what we preach, right? And then it's a win-win because we actually saw the difference it made for the students. It led to other opportunities. We were able to do a halftime show for the Rattlers, and some of these students got to do that.
I may not have known about At the Outlet, which is a nonprofit literally just right down the street, if I hadn't applied for Partner with a Principal. So it really brings our eyes open to people right in the community, right in our neighborhood that want to support us. And just as the school, we want to support them.
I would encourage other businesses to get involved with the Partner with a Principal program, so that you can see firsthand what's going on in our public school settings and be part of the difference that the students need.
Kitchell came in today to do a beautification project here at William R. Sullivan Elementary with the Murphy School District, and they are painting our beautiful walls in the literacy hub. They're also doing an improvement with our bulletin boards with the different quotes.
Not only does Kitchell want to be known as a great real estate company, but we want to be known as really a Phoenix institution that cares about those that we serve.
They brought in the resources and everything that we needed, and it was done within a few hours.
We really made quick work of our tasks that were ahead of us. We think the classroom looks great. We like the bulletin boards and everything. So yeah, overall, we're just really excited with how it turned out.
I know that our students are going to love it. I could already imagine their little faces when they come in.
The more resources that we have, the more resources that we're able to provide to our students to help them improve with their literacy, with their academics, so then our students can get that additional support from our partnerships that we have.
It's very important that we emphasize that the youth of today are the future leaders of tomorrow. and therefore we have to do all that we can to help make sure the kids have the right learning environment they need to succeed.
This was a great opportunity to partner with the principal, and it has been wonderful. I have been coming over to Vista College Prep now. It's been 1 year, and it's been amazing working with Principal Roy.
She immediately was so supportive, and I'm not really sure what we can provide for you. And she was like, no, it's not about me. What can we do for your school, for your team?
I know that some other corporations, they have like a lot of funding and that's available to create all these programs. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to do that kind of stuff, but I don't have that. So in talking to Principal Roy, I did say, so what do you guys need? Like, what can we do that's, I guess, inside of my realm?
I said our teachers are hungry all the time. We love snacks.
I said, snacks? Are you really? She goes, yes. The teachers love snacks because they work long days, hard days, and they're not always able to just go break away and have a meal, especially if they're here, you know, late in the evening. And I said, well, wait a minute now. We can do snacks. I solicited the help of the community, like through LinkedIn, friends, family, Facebook. I'm like, look, these teachers need snacks. They're amazing. They're great. And everybody's like, you know what? I'm donating because teachers do need that extra layer of love. And so it was so easy to get it.
So we set up a snack station in the leadership office. That's where it started. And then she said that she had some experience in public speaking and wellness. And I said the other thing that I really think my staff would appreciate is just some self-care tips. We practice many different skills, and we danced and we journaled and we had some breathing exercises.
We gave techniques on how to take care of yourselves because we know the teachers are always taking care of the littles, and sometimes it's easy not to just, you know, embrace themselves and say, this is what I need.
And then she reached out again, hey, what do you still need? I said, well, microwaves?
Microwaves? She goes, yeah, ours are old and, you know, they don't have the numbers. We don't know how long the food has been there.
The teacher's like, can we get ones that have like the plate that spins?
And I said, you know what? We've got that. We went out and we bought a couple microwaves. I'm so excited that they love the microwaves. You know, that's just proof that sometimes it's just the small things that make a really, really big impact.
We've just been really blessed to have LaShonda, and not just her, but again, the community behind her, her sorority sisters. That means the world to us.
I would just encourage anyone, everyone, if you're interested, to participate in this program. It is so important to pour into our young people at a very early age. But with that, we can't pour into them without pouring into the teachers.
Phoenix isn't just a city. It's a community, diverse, vibrant, and always moving forward. At Phoenix TV, we bring you inside City Hall and beyond. From the services you rely on, to the stories that connect us all. Watch live meetings, local stories, and updates that matter to you. Phoenix TV, your city, your voice. Subscribe on YouTube.
ADOT, connecting Arizona. From the snow-capped mountains of northern Arizona to the arid desert and lush farmland of the central and southern regions of our state, Arizona's natural beauty is diverse and breathtaking. Residents and tourists alike certainly enjoy our scenic state. Unfortunately, sometimes a closer look reveals litter.
I found a lot of socks.
ADOT spends about $8 million a year cleaning up litter along our state highways. Removing litter from our roads and highways is a time-consuming and costly job that threatens to get worse as Arizona's population grows.
Thank you for participating in the Adopt a Highway program.
So we greatly appreciate the help of Arizona's citizens like you who volunteer in our Adopt a Highway program.
Give your guys self a hand.
Your group has graciously agreed to clean up litter along a specific section of highway for a period of 2 years. As you begin your efforts, please keep in mind that a public highway can be dangerous, and some basic safety issues must be considered before you start work. So, are you ready to tackle the trash?
I'm ready. We ready.
It is important that you properly prepare yourself for the workday. Proper clothing and hydration are two priorities. When it comes to water, ask yourself these questions and plan accordingly for your water supply. How many people will be in your group? How many hours do you plan to work? How many miles do you plan to cover? What is the forecast temperature for the day? Now, think about your location. Does your cell phone get service where your adopted road is in case of emergency? How far is the nearest medical facility? Next, think about what to wear. Since most everything in Arizona has thorns, long-sleeve shirts and pants are recommended because of the harsh terrain, cactus, reptiles, and insects you may encounter. Wear protective gloves and strong-soled shoes or boots. Avoid sandals or loose-fitting shoes. Don't forget your sunscreen, and you'll probably want a hat too. Congratulations! You're ready to pick up trash. Your group should carpool as much as possible to keep the number of cars on site to a minimum. And always remember to park as far away from the roadway as possible. Next, your group coordinator will conduct a safety meeting for all group members. Each person must wear a safety vest at all times. Safety vests, along with trash bags, will be supplied to you by ADOT. Remember, no children below the age of 12 or pets are permitted in the program or in the work area. For your safety, do not utilize music players. Your ears are often the first thing to warn you of imminent danger. Appoint a lookout for your group. Work facing oncoming traffic, and remember to stay at least 5 feet from the pavement edge. The fewer distractions for the traveling public and your group, the better. Now, when it comes to trash, know what you're picking up. If you cannot identify it, don't pick it up. This brings us to the topic of hazardous waste.
Methamphetamine is the #1 drug abused in the United States and Arizona today, and is responsible for a lot of our violent crime.
The sun is rising.
Each pound of meth that is manufactured produces 5 to 6 pounds of hazardous materials as waste. So when you're out here on the roadway, don't pick up things that have tubing that is red, ice chests that are red, or red chemical bottles. Bad guys throw them out here because they don't want to get caught with them. Also, leave those corroded propane bottles alone. Used car batteries, needles, syringes, or anything that you don't know what it is. The best rule of thumb is if you are uncertain, don't touch it and inform local law enforcement. Remember, be alert.
Also, do not enter pipes or culverts. The danger is too high, so let the pros deal with that. You should pick up small items made of paper, cardboard, plastic, styrofoam, wood, or rubber. Glass items and small empty containers are okay if they do not have sharp edges. Tie your bags securely shut and place the filled bags at least 6 feet from the pavement edge. Do not overfill or overstuff the bags. ADOT workers must lift these bags into their trucks. Place large or heavier items like tire debris or any items that would tear a bag near the filled bags. Remember, don't move anything that could cause you or your team members physical harm. ADOT will remove your filled trash bags from the roadside after the cleanup is complete. Avoid overexertion and drink plenty of fluids to stay hydrated. Adopt a Highway program encourages recycling, so collect the recyclables and take them with you. Make sure your group has enough water and that on-site first aid is available. Leave snakes alone. People are bitten because they try to kill a snake or get a closer look at it. Keep hands and feet out of areas you cannot see. Don't pick up rocks or firewood. Be cautious and alert at all times. If you or a group member is bitten, wash the bite with soap and water. Immobilize the bitten area and keep it lower than the heart and get medical help. Remember, you signed a permit to do this. That permit has terms and conditions. It is very important that you read and abide by them. Inform your ADOT Adopt a Highway contact at least 5 days prior to the cleanup effort. We need to make sure your dates don't conflict with other highway uses, so it's very important to know who your Adopt a Highway contact is and that they have your contact information. We need to know as quickly as possible if a new coordinator is appointed or if you change any of your contact information. Make sure everyone in your group fills out a volunteer registration form before each cleanup. The Arizona Department of Transportation wants this to be a rewarding and safe experience for all of you. Volunteers like you make this program successful by giving your time and energy to make a positive impact on the environment. Your efforts are appreciated, very much so, not only by ADOT, but also by the citizens of Arizona and the visitors who will enjoy a cleaner state because of your hard work. So spread the word. Arizona, keep it grand.
My name is Brian So. I'm a management assistant too at the Planning and Development Department at the City of Phoenix. The Management Fellowship Program is a year-long program for people that have interest in being in local government or City of Phoenix for that matter, to get to really experience what and how the City of Phoenix works. I was considering a career change into local government, so I felt a little nervous making that jump from academia to practice, and I felt like the Management Fellowship Program was a great way to make that jump, be okay to take risks, but be able to get access to really try to learn and absorb and really do a deeper dive on how local governments work. If I were to describe the Management Fellowship Program, I would say it felt like a classroom where I could really study and engage in whatever I wanted to do, and we had great teachers and mentors that could navigate me through the process. What I really appreciate about the program is that I was given really the fullest level of access to everybody that you could think of in the City of Phoenix, which is a wide range of diversity of people. A lot of great people that we got access to, got to interact with them and really learn from their expertise and receive great advice from them along the way. The Management Fellowship Program really gave me confidence that if I really put my head down and really try to understand how the city works, how things operate, how people operate, I can learn great things and I can achieve great things throughout my career at the City of Phoenix. The City of Phoenix set me up on a career of lifelong learning, which I really enjoy doing. So I'm just going to never run out of opportunities to learn at the City of Phoenix. If you're as curious as I am, if you're excited about learning new things and learning about public service and learning about what local government does to service people, I can't think of a better way than the Management Fellowship Program to do that.
What a wonderful day it is to be here as we welcome China Airlines with the first ever nonstop service from Taipei to Phoenix, Arizona. What a great day it is.
It was an honor to be on that inaugural flight from Taipei, Taiwan to Phoenix. It is indicative of what I know is a tremendous partnership that is really going to propel this region, the relationship between the two countries. This new route is more than just a connection between two cities. It's a bridge between two dynamic regions. The economic impact of this year-round service is expected to exceed $100 million on an annual basis. Passenger traffic between Phoenix and Taipei has surged by more than 400% since 2019, highlighting the growing demand for this connection. We are thrilled to welcome travelers from the Silicon Island to the Silicon Desert. The future is bright, and this is just the beginning.
This flight is not only about tourism, it's about forging more collaboration in our industries, in our technologies, in our exchanges in education, and in all fronts.
We truly believe in this city potential and look forward to building even stronger partnership together in here. The milestone is possible because of your dedication.
You had the confidence to make sure that this day happened, and I just want to thank you and the entire China Airlines team for allowing us to make that today possible.
My name is Destiny Dominguez. I'm an administrative assistant 2 in the Public Works Solid Waste Division. The Phoenix Management Fellowship Program is a year-long program where you rotate through 3 different departments, 4 months each. And during that time, you really just have the opportunity to learn about different things happening in that department. And it all kind of ties back to the city manager's office, which is where you're housed. You're learning from these top-level staff. It's just such a year-long learning opportunity. The goal of the Phoenix Management Fellowship then, and I think now, since it's been around for 75 plus years, has been to help really just gain exposure to city operations. I grew up in Phoenix, and so when I began studying public service, public policy, and then eventually public administration, I knew that I wanted to pursue a career in local government. And so during one of my undergrad classes, I heard about the Phoenix Management Fellowship Program. And so thankfully, I got it. Really just about giving back to the community that gave so much to me growing up. And then obviously, I mean, Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the United States, largest council manager form of government. Like, who doesn't want to be a part of that? I was seeking a couple of things. I was seeking mentorship, just support, and then experiences that would be able to kind of carry me through my career, hopefully with the City of Phoenix, and thankfully I'm here now today. But that was all here at the City of Phoenix. I think people are often kind of worried about how large Phoenix is, 1.7 million people, 15,000 employees. But truly, you have such a diverse group of people here at the city to learn from, who are willing to just help you get through anything and just willing to be there. So I think that commitment to just building up the Phoenix of tomorrow is what really intrigued me to be here, and I'm so thankful that I'm still here contributing to that. One of my favorite memories is really the community budget hearings, sitting in on those. Listening to the community. The staff was always willing to listen. Them just being able to kind of have those conversations with them was really, really good to hear. Interacting with field staff, just administrative staff on a day-to-day basis, and the incredible executive team that we have here at the City of Phoenix, it's unparalleled. Having gone through the program, through that entirely crazy year, has prepared me now here, because the amount of connections that you have, the amount of resources that you're able to provide that a lot of people aren't aware of, I think it's a big benefit to me. I knew coming into the program that this was my calling, but now I know more than ever that it is. And I'm so thankful to be here at the City of Phoenix. Phoenix has it all, and this is the place to be. Who wouldn't want to be here at the Phoenix Management Fellowship Program?
Semiconductor industry is becoming the future of the world. We're establishing something new in the country, something new that will generate the pipeline of future talent for TSMC.
Who doesn't want to be part of probably the biggest company that's coming? And plus, I really needed a career, and thankfully I've found my career here.
Truly been a privilege to establish this apprenticeship program here at TSMC. We started with 8 apprentices. The apprenticeship program overall is between 18 and 24 months. The apprenticeship is structured in 2 cycles. This is the completion of cycle 1.
I'm a water apprentice. I'm really excited and looking forward to the next step or second phase of the program. They have 4 departments here. We have electrical, water, mechanical, and gas and chems. And throughout the first phase of the program, we
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. It is Wednesday, June 17th. Before the formal City Council meeting begins, we'll convene the Assisted Housing Governing Board. I'll call that meeting to order. Will the clerk call the roll?
Board Member Guardado.
Here.
Board Member Hernandez. Here. Board Member Maggard.
Here.
Board Member O'Brien.
Here.
Board Member Pastor.
Here.
Board Member Robinson.
Here.
Board Member Stark.
Here.
Board Member Waring. Vice Chair Hodge Washington.
Here.
Chairwoman Gallego.
Here. Item number 3 is resolution number 233. Do we have a motion on that resolution?
I move to approve Resolution 233.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is related to project-based vouchers for Moreland Phase 2. Roll call.
Guardado.
Here. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Maggard.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 10-0.
Resolution number 234 is related to scattered site development. Board Member Maggard, do you have a motion?
I move to approve Resolution 234.
Second. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Maggard.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 10-0.
Item 5 is resolution number 235, a resolution related to Edison Eastlake Choice Neighborhoods mixed income housing developments. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve Resolution 235.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Maggard.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 10-0.
Item number 6 is resolution 236 related to the HUD Rental Assistance Demonstration or RAD program. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve Resolution 236.
Second. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Maggard.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 10-0.
Item number 7 is resolution number 237 related to Housing Choice Voucher Section 8 project-based vouchers for Central and Columbus. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve Resolution 237.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Maggard.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 10-0.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Board Member Donna Maggard for your service to our City and Housing Authority, with that, we are adjourned. No, 238?
Sorry.
All right.
Number 8.
Do a motion on number 8, 238. Do we
I
need a
move
motion?
to approve Resolution 238.
Second. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Maggard.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes. All right, now we are adjourned. Thank you so much to our board member. We'll next move to the invocation, and I invite Fire Chaplain Tim Martinell forward.
Good afternoon. Madam Mayor, I would like to thank you, the City Council, and the staff for the opportunity to be here today to open up this meeting with the invocation. Please bow your heads and pray with me. Gracious God, we thank you for this day and for the privilege of serving the residents of Phoenix. We are grateful for the members of the City Council and for their commitment to our community. As they gather to conduct the city's business, grant them wisdom, discernment, and clarity of thought. Help them work together with respect and understanding as they consider the needs of those that they serve. We also give thanks for the residents of Phoenix and for all who contribute to making this city a vibrant and caring community. May this meeting be productive, thoughtful, and focused on the common good. And I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaplain. And now I'll ask Councilwoman Ann O'Brien to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll call to order the formal meeting of the Phoenix City Council. Will the clerk call the roll?
Councilwoman Guardado.
Here.
Councilwoman Hernandez.
Here.
Councilwoman O'Brien.
Here.
Councilwoman Pastor.
Here.
Councilman Robinson.
Here.
Councilwoman Stark.
Here.
Councilman Waring. Vice Mayor Hodge Washington.
Here.
Mayor Gallego.
Here. Mario Barajas and Elsie Duarte are with us to provide interpretation. Mario, would you introduce your team?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Good afternoon. As already mentioned, my name is Mario Barajas. I'll be working together with Elsie Duarte as our Spanish interpreters for our Spanish-speaking residents. I'll now take a moment to introduce ourselves to our Spanish-speaking residents. Buenas tardes, yo soy Mario Barajas y junto conmigo va a estar trabajando Elsie Duarte y vamos a ser intérpretes a los de habla hispana. Quisiéramos repasar brevemente de que si acaso van a estar dando un comentario público, favor de hablar de una manera lenta y clara. Así de esa manera podemos entender e interpretarles de una manera más precisa. También para los que quizás vayan a dar un comentario público virtualmente, favor de evitar distracciones de fondo. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mario. Will the city clerk read the 24-hour paragraph?
The titles of the following ordinance and resolution numbers on the agenda were available to the public at least 24 hours prior to this council meeting and therefore may be read by title or agenda item only. Ordinances number G7523 through 7524 and S52964 through 53064.
Will the city attorney please explain public comment?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Members of the public may speak for up to 2 minutes to comment on agenda items. Comments must be related to the agenda item and the action being considered by the council. General comments that go beyond the scope of the agenda item should be made during the citizen comment session at the end of the agenda. The City Council and staff cannot discuss or comment on matters related to pending investigations, claims, or litigation. Additionally, any member of the public who appears before the council in their capacity as a lobbyist must, as required by Phoenix City Code, disclose this fact before addressing the council. The City Code states that speakers must express their comments respectfully and courteously. Use of profane language, threats, or personal attacks on members of the public, council members, or staff are not allowed. Such comments are disruptive and unrelated to the council's business. Any person who violates these rules may lose their opportunity to speak further and could be asked to leave. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much to our city attorney. Agenda item number 1, formal meeting minutes. Councilwoman Pastor, do you have a motion?
I move to approve the formal meeting minutes of 11/5/2025.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 2 is appointing of municipal court judges. Vice Mayor, do you have a motion?
Motion to approve the reappointments of Judge Laura E. Lowry and Judge Tina Solomon as Phoenix Municipal Court judges.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Welcome back to our judges. The City of Phoenix provides an advisory role to the state of Arizona on liquor license, and we'll turn to that portion of our agenda, as well as off-track betting and bingo. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 3 through 22.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
City Clerk, are we ready for ordinances, resolution, new business, planning, and zoning?
Yes, Mayor.
Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 23 through 154, except for the following: items 44 through 51, 54, 59, 60, 89, 95, 101, 106, 111, 124, 128, 129, 135, and 152. Noting that items 53 and 65 are as revised. Item 96 is withdrawn. Item 154 is an add-on item. And can the clerk confirm if there are any other items that should be excluded for in-person public comment?
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor. Also items 80, 81, 133, and 153. That's items 80, 81, 133, and 153.
Second.
Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Thank you so much. Now we go to the budget portion of our city council meeting. The city council has months of hearings on this and then votes 3 times. This is the 3rd, so final vote. We'll begin with item 44, which is a public hearing on the adoption of the proposed property tax levy, truth in taxation, and adoption of the final 2026-2027 annual budget. Declare the hearing open. Are there any comments? I do not have any comments on this, so I will close the public hearing and want to thank the thousands of people who participated in our budget and the many hearings we've been having for months. Item 44 is a convening of a special meeting of the Phoenix City Council to consider the adoption of the 26-27 budget. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, in accordance with state statute, I move that the regular meeting of the City Council be recessed and the City Council convene a special meeting to consider adoption of the budget.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Item 46 is the adoption of the final 26-27 operating funds budget. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I move that item 46 be in ordinance S52969, the final 2026-27 operating funds budget be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any council questions or comments? Councilman Waring? No?
Sorry, I apologize. Yes, I did have a couple questions for Ed first. I am supportive of this budget. This will help to explain why. In 2008, 2009, the inflation adjusted, I just want to check these numbers are correct, per capita spending per citizen was $1,268. In this budget, the 2026-2027 budget, the per capita spending per citizen is only $1,222. Over almost 20 years, the per capita expenditure, when you adjust for inflation, has actually gone down. Is that correct?
Councilman Waring, that has been a conversation we've had. I'm looking at Aaron, and he is nodding because he has done the math. That is correct. When you have adjusted for inflation from our high water mark in 2008 before the Great Recession to now, your numbers are correct.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to point out, obviously, you were city manager for a lot of that time, but you obviously had a lot of staffers helping and so forth. I just want to say, as a fiscal conservative and someone who lives in Phoenix, I appreciate the fact that spending per citizen has actually declined. The number of employees, because of our use of technology and so forth, the deployment of different new technologies that didn't exist in 2007, 2008, we actually have, like 3,000 fewer employees. But I wanted to get to that as a percentage of the budget in 2007, 2008, and I picked that because that is the kind of the high water mark in some ways of city spending. Then the Great Recession happened and things changed. 59% of the general fund operating budget was for public safety, but in this budget, it's 63%. So not only has spending per capita gone down, but the percentage spent on public safety of the whole budget has gone up. Is that a correct statement?
I believe that's correct when we're talking about the general funds budget, yes, which is what this vote is about. That's attributed to a couple things, which is the council has expanded the fire department in the last several years to meet growing demand, as well as the pension costs for police and fire. But yes, I think from our conversation, those numbers sound to me to be correct.
And the number of full-time FTEs in 2007, 2008, 38% of the workforce was police and fire. With this budget, it's 44%, according to the chart you provided. So the percentage of people who work for the city, it's more concentrated in police and fire than it was in the past.
Yeah, correct. That would be a higher percentage. Again, the expansion that the council has done with our fire department to meet growing demand for emergency services, and also increase in civilian positions in the police department account for that, but our public safety percentage of employment has gone up.
And this is the high water mark as you look at the charts year over year. 44% is the high water mark. So again, those are a couple things I wanted to point out. I thought some citizens might be interested in that, and I appreciate your efforts, Ed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Item 47 is the adoption of the final 26-27 capital funds budget. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I move that item 47 be an ordinance S53015, the final 2026-2027 capital funds budget be adopted.
Second.
Any comments? Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Item 48 is the adoption of the final 2026-27 reappropriated funds budget. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I move that item 48 be an ordinance S52970, the final 2026-27 reapportioned funds budget be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I move the city council adjourn the special meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The special meeting is adjourned. I hereby declare that the special meeting is concluded, and I reconvene the regular city council meeting. And really remarkable, we are a very diverse city council, but we have come together to move forward unanimously on a budget, and I hope our residents see some confidence in that. A lot of diverse needs being met by this budget. Items 49, 50, and 51 are legally required amendments to the current 25-26 operating capital and reappropriated funds budget, allowing the city to close out the current fiscal year budgetary accounts and proceed with the annual independent audit. Item 49 amends the 25-26 annual operating funds budget to authorize reallocating appropriations. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I move that item 49 being ordinance S52967, the required reallocation of the 2025-26 operating funds budget appropriations be adopted.
Second.
Comments? Will the clerk call the roll?
Guardado,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring, Hodge Washington,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Item 50 amends the 25-26 annual capital funds budget to authorize reallocating appropriations. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I move that item 50 being ordinance S53016, the required reallocation of the 2025-26 capital funds budget appropriations be adopted.
Second.
Will the clerk call the roll?
Guardado,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring, Hodge Washington,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Item 51 amends the 25-26 annual reappropriation funds budget to authorize reallocating appropriations. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I move that item 51 being ordinance S52968, the required reallocation of the 2025-26 reappropriation funds budget reappropriations be adopted.
Second.
Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor, Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring, Hodge Washington,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Thank you. That concludes our budget process for today. We will be back on the first meeting in July, and we'll have a property tax related vote where the property tax will be notching downward a bit. We next go to item 54. Will the city clerk read the title?
Item 54 is for ordinance G7524, an ordinance amending Chapter 8, Article 1, Phoenix City Code, Section 8-3.08, relating to the unlawful restraint of a dog.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve item 54.
Second. We have a motion and a second. I know a lot of council members have been working on this, but maybe we'll start. We have 9 members of the public here to testify. We will begin with Coco Garcia, followed by Don Bentley. And thanks to members of the public who've been working on this with us.
Hello, council members. My name is Coco Garcia. I'm the founder of Handover Rover. We're a small rescue here in the Phoenix Scottsdale area. We spend a tremendous amount of time, money, and resources negotiating animals off tiebacks when we learn that this is how they live. The suffering that takes place in the desert heat is just too much to look away from. Last winter, we worked on a case that involved a female doodle living on a rope with one of her puppies in a 3x3 cage. There was also a tiny chihuahua that was attached to the doodle, so they were both on the same rope. Poverty's Pets had already been met with hostility, so I knocked on the door to see if I could possibly hit them with a different angle. I was pretty nervous. I don't like confrontation. And to my surprise, I was met with 2 young men, 15 and 17 years old. They were the primary caretakers and had no problem spilling the tea and letting me know that they breed these dogs for money. It's an easy profit, and their parents drive them to the places where puppies were likely to get sold. These animals lived on 3 feet of tangled ropes permanently. They couldn't reach their food or water. We got involved in the winter, but this had been going on for well over a year. It took us about 3 weeks of driving an hour back and forth before we were finally able to win over the trust of these young men and get them to agree to rehome these dogs to us and to Poverty's Pets. It was a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources that we put into one case. This is just one of several hundred that we have worked over the years. Passing this ordinance today isn't just going to aid in the overpopulation, because when people own these animals and they have the option to put them on tiebacks, they will use them for breeding if that's what they're using them for. But if that's not allowed, they're not going to put extra time and money into building and securing a fence. So likely they just won't own them. But this is also going to change how the future of our youth view these animals. Passing this law today is indirectly creating better humans. We're hopeful that you guys agree. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Don is next, followed by Barbara Brackett.
Madam Mayor and members of the council. My name is Don Bentley, and I'm here with Poverty's Pets to speak in favor of the proposed changes to the dog tethering ordinance. These proposed changes fix a major flaw in the current ordinance. The city currently has a full ban on dog tethering during extreme weather conditions, which means essentially whenever the temperature is over 100 degrees. But there's no ban at all when the temperature is under 100 degrees. So tethering may be legal in the morning, but not legal in the afternoon. And tethering may become illegal at a different time each day, depending on when the temperature hits 100 degrees. So the current ordinance is confusing for citizens, and it's very difficult for police and cruelty investigators to enforce. Additionally, dog tethering results in a great deal of animal cruelty. Outside temperature is an important factor, but it's not the only one. Your proposed changes address the root problem and ban the practice entirely unless it's under direct supervision of the dog owner. So thank you, and please support these proposed changes.
Thank you. Barbara is next, Ernestina Proxima.
Hello, my name is Barbara Brackett, and I've been volunteering for Poverty's Pets for about 4 years. I first became involved with Poverty's Pets after adopting a dog through them. I wanted to do more, so I started helping to distribute flyers in targeted, underserved communities, letting residents know about the free spay and neuter clinics. And then I volunteered at the clinics themselves. Before finding Poverty's Pets, I honestly didn't spend much time in these neighborhoods. Like most of us, I traveled the same roads and routes, and so was completely unaware of the conditions many animals were living in. Dogs roaming freely, strays struggling to survive, and injured animals with little or probably no care. As I mentioned before, Poverty's Pets volunteers, like myself, prepared for clinics by walking neighborhoods, distributing flyers. And what we saw was eye-opening. We saw dogs living on chains and cables. We saw dogs confined to impossibly small areas, isolated and often without food or water or the ability to get out of the sun. The suffering was difficult to witness, and often what I saw stayed with me long after I returned home. These experiences strengthened my belief that we all have a responsibility to care for animals that depend entirely on us, as well as educate pet owners. That's why I support this ordinance. It will help protect dogs from prolonged tethering, but it will also send an important message that animals deserve compassion. They deserve proper care, and they deserve a better quality of life. Equally as important, it will help educate pet owners and encourage the more humane treatment of animals throughout our community. Thank you for your time and for supporting this important step forward for the dogs of Phoenix.
Thank you, Ernestina, and then Sherry.
Hola, mi nombre es Ernestina Briceño y soy voluntaria con Poverty's Pets. Conocí a Poverty's Pets por primera vez hace 4 años. Vinieron a mi vecindario y dejaron un volante sobre servicios gratuitos de esterilización y castración. Tenía muchos gatos ferales, necesitaba ayuda, así que llamé al número del volante. Después de eso me convertí en voluntaria. Ahora ayudo a mi comunidad. Ayuda a traducir y explicar información para familias que hablan mi idioma. Muchas personas se sienten más cómodas cuando alguien puede hablar con ellas y ayudarlas a entender. En mi vecindario veo muchos perros atados, viviendo fuera. Algunos están atados a cercas, muchos están solos en patios traseros por largos periodos de tiempo. Mucha gente no entiende que esto puede hacerles daño a los perros. Veo mucho insecto, garrapatas en los perros. Trato de educar a las personas cuando puedo. Les explico que los perros necesitan cuidado, sombra, agua y cariño. También explico mejores maneras de mantenerlos seguros y como parte de la familia. Estoy contenta con esta nueva ley. Creo que ayudará a proteger los perros en nuestra comunidad. También creo que ayudará a enseñarles a la gente compasión y una mejor comprensión. Gracias por su tiempo y por preocuparse por los animales en nuestra ciudad. Gracias.
Gracias. Sherry is next, followed by Bill Ross. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mayor, do you want the translation?
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Sherry. We're going to do a translation.
Hello, my name is Ernestina. I'm a volunteer, and I'm known for providing services in the area. I first met them 4 years ago. They came to my neighborhood and left a flyer about the free spaying and neutering service. There was many feral cats that needed help, so I called the number on the flyer. After that, I became a volunteer. Now, I help my community. I help translate and explain information for families who speak my language. Many people feel more comfortable when someone can talk to them and help them understand. In my neighborhood, I see many dogs that are tied up, living outside. Some are tied to fences. Many are left alone in backyards for long periods of time. Many people don't understand that this can harm dogs. I see a lot of ticks on dogs. I try to educate people when I can. I explain to them that dogs need care, shade, water, and affection. I also explain better ways to keep them safe, and as part of the family, I'm happy with this new law. I believe it will help protect dogs in our community. I also believe it will help teach people compassion and better understanding. Thank you for your time and for caring about the animals in our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Sherry, thank you for your patience.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council members. My name is Sherry Hoffman, and I have been volunteering with Poverty's Pets for over a decade, and I'm currently on the board. Before each spay and neuter clinic, we canvass the neighborhood, leaving flyers on the doors. And we do this probably at least once a month, maybe twice a month. Poverty's Pets dedicated volunteers, the one flyer initiates a conversation. Once an individual reaches out to us, we feel an obligation to help. By asking them 4 words, how can we help, opens the door to get them services they need. Many of these families are rescuing animals because they can't stand to see them suffer on their streets. Walking the streets in these underserved communities, we witness the horrific effects of tethering. Dogs standing in their own feces and urine, covered in flies, behavioral deterioration, heightened aggression, severe psychological distress, and vulnerable to extreme weather, which we have in Phoenix like today, which is 110 degrees out. Today, we are taking a definitive step in the right direction to ensure dogs in Phoenix will no longer suffer on the end of a tether. Please vote in favor of this legislation. The dogs will thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Bill is next, followed by Kate.
Good afternoon. My name is Bill Ross, and I'm a board member with the Poverty's Pets organizations. I'd like to take a moment now to express our gratitude to all the folks in city leadership who have taken the time to meet with us over the past several years as we work to better understand animal welfare issues in Phoenix and explore solutions to reduce animal neglect and cruelty. We met several times with Maricopa Animal Care and Control, where staff helped us better understand the challenges facing animal welfare in our community. We also met with Commander Shane Disotell, who always made himself accessible, answered our questions, and helped us understand enforcement realities. We met with Spencer Self as well from Neighborhood Services and had helpful conversations and very productive conversations with council members Pastor, Waring, Robinson, Guardado, as well as former council members. When we first started this journey, we quickly learned that we didn't know what we didn't know. We had to educate ourselves on how animal welfare is managed in the city, who handles what, where complaints go, and how different departments work together. What we did know, however, was that there were far too many animals suffering. As we listened, learned, and met with stakeholders throughout the city, one thing became clear, that education, while important, there are situations where stronger protections are needed to prevent ongoing neglect and suffering. The proposed anti-tethering ordinance is a result of years of conversations, research, and collaboration. It is a reasonable measure and a meaningful step to ensure dogs are treated humanely while still allowing responsible pet owners to safely manage their animals. We respectfully ask for you to support this ordinance change and for your continued commitment to protecting the welfare of Phoenix animals. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Kate is next, followed by Lisa.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Kate Civilella, and I'm the founder of Poverty Pets. For over a decade, we have advocated for strong, clear, anti-tethering legislation in Phoenix. Many of you have met with us. What we see every week is not abstract. It is dogs tied 24/7, tangled in ropes, cables, chains, without clean water or shade, and living in deplorable conditions. Just recently, Poverty Pets reported a tethered dog. The dog was tethered by a short rope attached to a cloth collar. It was 99 degrees outside. We were told there was nothing that could be done as the temperature had not yet reached 100 degrees. At 99 degrees, the dog was legal. 1 digit later, that exact same dog, standing in the exact same spot, tethered in the exact same manner, would suddenly become illegal. The dog's suffering did not change when the temperature moved 1 degree. Cruelty cannot be measured by temperature alone. For too long, discussions have been centered on whether a dog is tethered with a chain, a cable, or a rope. But changing the material does not change the reality for a dog. A tethered dog is still confined, isolated, and vulnerable. This ordinance moves the conversation beyond those loopholes and keeps the focus where it needs to be, on the welfare of the animal. We are grateful for this council for taking this issue seriously. I would also like to thank Councilwoman Laura Pastor and your office for your continued support and commitment on this issue. This language moves Phoenix in the right direction. It is practical, a step forward, and will help educate both owners and dogs will receive a humane. All right.
Thank you. We got the. She thinks we should support it, guys. All right, council member comments. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Lisa.
Good afternoon, and thank you for letting us all talk. You've heard from a lot of my colleagues and friends here, and we are all here supporting the same thing. I volunteer with Handover Rover Rescue, and we spend countless hours doing trap, neuter, and return work for communities, cats throughout Phoenix. And rescue work puts you in some places that most people never see, puts you face to face with animals that have been neglected, abandoned, or forgotten. I've seen dogs left outside in extreme heat with little human interaction. We've seen dogs spending day after day tied to a chain or cable tether. And we've seen the physical and emotional toll that the isolation and neglect can take on an animal. In rescue, we often encounter animals that after months and years of neglect, the dogs that spend their lives at the end of a chain, they have no voice of their own. And today, we have the opportunity to speak with them. Every animal that we've rescued had really one thing in common. They're waiting for a human to do the right thing. Today, you have the opportunity to do the right thing for countless of animals you may never see or meet. I respectfully ask for your support, and thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. I believe that concludes our testimony? Any comments? Councilwoman Pastor.
Kate and I have had a, I don't know, back and forth relationship for many years. I'm trying to think back. I want to say 5 years, maybe this has been going, 6 years. And Kate is a constituent of mine in District 4. And so I see Kate very often. And she reminds me at times, like, Laura, we still need to work on this ordinance. We still need to do these following things. And so I want to thank Poverty Pets and all of those that are here that are advocates for the pets and regarding the tethering piece, because I probably would not be standing here and speaking or speaking about this if it hadn't been for Michael Peterson and Carvaya. And Michael really took on this ordinance to make sure that dogs were not tethered. And so he was the one who said, you need to get involved. I will organize all the meetings. We will sit down. I will go through the process of the legal piece and see what we can and cannot do. And so for me, this is the final piece. And this is also a memory of Michael Peterson and Carvaya. So I want to thank you for having me and push me to this point to make a really good ordinance that is necessary in our city. There are many people to thank. I want to thank Lori Bays, because Lori Bays has been in this process for just as long as us. I also want to thank legal. I also want to thank public safety. I also want to thank those that were part of this and have stuck to it and were committed to this piece. This final piece wouldn't have happened without Councilman Robinson, because he is the chair of Public Safety and Justice. And so I really want to thank Councilman Robinson for working with me to get this on the Public Justice and Safety Committee and understanding the commitment and his commitment to this, because he's the one who determines what's on and what's off on a committee. And I also want to thank those that sat on that committee because they voted for it. And it's very important to understand that we can't get anything through, any type of policy or ordinance through without a collective. And so I want to thank everybody that has worked on this to get it to this space. And I'm just ready to get it to the point to pass it so that Kate will be happy and others will be happy. And when she sees me at Encanto Golf course, we're not having this conversation, we're having another one. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say, I really appreciate bringing forth these common sense solutions and updates that provide more clarity for the enforcement. I believe they reflect the best practices when it comes to animal welfare. And I think it reinforces our commitment to humane treatment for animals. I just wanted to say thank you to staff and the council members and subcommittee for working with the advocacy groups on this effort. And I just wanted to encourage that this partnership continues as we educate the community on the new changes to the updated changes to the law. And I'm just grateful to be able to support this effort. So thank you for everyone who was involved in this. I just wanted to say thank you for, as Lisa said, for allowing this human to do the right thing.
Councilwoman Guardado.
Thank you, Mayor. As well, I want to thank everyone that is here today that spoke on this item. Incredibly important. As someone that owns 2 dogs, I understand how important this is. And also want to thank staff for all of their hard work and everything that they're doing. And we continue to expand into our parks and our dog parks. I want to thank our city manager, Ed Zucker. We are finally getting a dog park in the west side at El Oso Park. So very thankful for you and to Cynthia and to the staff for making that happen. We have so many apartment complexes in that area and so many beautiful dogs. And now they're going to have this amazing dog park in that area so they can come out and and being able to have a different space. We know that's important in the West Side. It's incredibly important that we continue to create these type of spaces. So very thankful for everyone's work and advocacy. I know we've been talking about this for a long time, and I'm very grateful that I was able to vote on this in PSJ and being able to vote on this today. So thanks to everyone. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any additional, Councilman Waring?
Thank you. One of the speakers, Mayor, mentioned that they met with me. We have a lot of meetings. That meeting stuck out. A couple weeks ago, I recognized some faces in the audience, even though it had been a while. As far as I can remember, that was our only meeting. I wish you guys would give a seminar on how to have a meeting with an elected official. Now, unbeknownst to you, I was already kind of on your side. I have my own dog and love cats and so forth, and grew up partially on a farm. So for me, this was kind of meaningful, and I don't want you to think you wasted your time. Maybe probably would have just voted for it anyway, but I appreciated the way you handled that meeting. Christine from my office, we talked about that afterwards, just the tenor of it and everything. I just thought I would be remiss if I didn't compliment you on that. Not every meeting goes that way. I don't even know that I was saying everything that you wanted to hear, but I did appreciate that very much, the professionalism and the tone. There were, I think, about 7 of you there, and it was a kind of a pretty diverse group, and everybody was really collegial and trying to work together towards a solution. I appreciated that very much, so thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman Hernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. As a dog mom myself, glad to see that we as a city are taking additional steps and actions to protect dogs in Phoenix. You know, dog abuse can look a lot of different ways. It could be a dog tethered to some sort of structure. It could also be a golden doodle in his Knicks jersey celebrating their championship win with their beloved human, and then shot by 20 officers that showed up for a noise complaint. So this is a very important topic that we tackle. So I also want to see us move to a place where we extend these protections to the dogs that we force into our canine units as well, because I think we should work together as a council and as a city to end all dog abuse. And with that, I will be supporting this item today. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I am also thinking of Thelda Williams today. This is an ordinance that updates something she worked on very hard, probably around 2016. And she was a member of our city council and a great animal lover. And her birthday would be coming up very soon. So just thinking of her and the legacy that she left behind that we can continue to build and improve. With that, roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. We next go to item 59. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve per the staff recommendation and adopt the annual PSPRS pension funding policy and acknowledge the assets and liabilities of the PSPRS plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, noting that Councilman Robinson will not participate in this item. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Item 60 is the authorization to opt the City of Phoenix Employee Retirement Pension System Funding Policy. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve per the staff recommendation and adopt the annual COPERS pension funding policy and acknowledge the assets and liabilities of the COPERS plan.
Second.
We have a motion and second, noting Councilwoman Stark will not participate in this item. Councilman Waring.
Mayor, I just had one thing to say. Again, compliment the staff. I think it's my 3rd positive comment of a meeting, so I'll have to come up with a couple negatives for later just to balance things out. But in 2020 or 2019, the unfunded pension liability for COPERS was about 1.8 billion. In this year, we are at about 1.3 roughly. by 2038, 2039, there will be no unfunded liability. Ed, is that all correct? Maybe you're not the right
Councilman
person to
Waring,
ask.
that is correct, yes.
Okay. I mean, that's a remarkable accomplishment when you look at the graph I'm looking at when they briefed me in the office. In 2013, we sent something to citizens and they passed it and it worked. So the compliment goes to the citizens of Phoenix, but appreciate Ed and the staff because you were city manager then, if I remember correctly. You know, it does show that working together, things can get done, and this trajectory is fantastic. It is maybe not unprecedented around the country, but it's not the norm, certainly around the country. And I think the city of Phoenix, I think it's about 35% of the workforce that are in COPERS, at least that's a dated number, but that's sort of what I remember. You're nodding, but that's basically accurate. That's the pension system that we control, and we're controlling it very well. I guess I'll just put it that way, and so I just wanted to compliment you and your team on a great effort.
Councilman Waring, thank you for that. For the staff, they do work very hard. Our finance department and budget and research have collaborated over the years. I'm glad you acknowledged that the voters voted. I would also acknowledge that the city council has adopted a series of policies that are not easy, but have been very effective. As you mentioned, the City of Phoenix employee retirement system was among the lowest funded city systems 15 years ago, and today we are among the best funded large city pensions in the United States. And as you said, that's a team effort, but the council has adopted significant policies to make that the case. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Councilman, and good recognition for our finance team. They've had several innovative and important items on today's agenda. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor. Robinson.
Yes.
Stark. Sorry, I apologize. Stark has a conflict. Waring.
Yes.
Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Thank you. Passes 8-0.
We next go to item 80, which is a request to seek council authorization to exceed the 8-hour rule to research and develop options for minimum wage. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 80.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Does anyone want to speak before public comment?
No, we can go to public comment.
All right. We do have two speakers on this item. We'll begin with Nicole, followed by Janae.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicole Ray. I'm a wheelchair assistant at Sky Harbor International Airport. I'm speaking in support of increasing the minimum wage for workers at city facilities like Sky Harbor, where I work. I love my job, but I am paid just the minimum wage of $15.15 an hour and rely on tips from passengers to help. But tips aren't reliable, and we shouldn't depend on the kindness of strangers to supplement our low wages while the major airlines we serve are making record revenue and pay their CEOs tens of millions a year. They have the money, they can make sure we're paid fairly, but they aren't. So we need the city to take swift action and set a $25 an hour living wage, which is the bare minimum we need to live as costs keep skyrocketing. It's hard as a single mother of 2 young boys to make ends meet. I had to stop taking medications I depended on because I couldn't afford them. It was either medicine or food for my 2 young sons, and as a single mother, the choice was easy. What's even worse, the major airlines supported the legislation that slashed access to health care for millions of working people like myself. The airlines are actively working to make my life worse. I live paycheck to paycheck, and not a day goes by that I don't worry about how I'll pay for rent, bills, medication, and food. I'm tired of helping make the airlines and their CEOs richer and richer while I struggle. The system is broken. The city can fix it. $25 an hour would mean my children don't go hungry and that I can provide for my family. It would mean our essential jobs are valued, that the airport has a fully staffed, well-trained, and experienced workforce to keep travelers and the public safe. I hope you will all work to make this happen quickly. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Janae Vanderkirk, and I work at a ticket counter at Sky Harbor International Airport. I'm really happy the mayor and the city council are taking action to address the poverty wage crisis impacting workers in the city of Phoenix and airport service workers who service airlines at Sky Harbor. Numerous companies contract with the airlines. Contractor workers not only help passengers who need wheelchair assistance, we make sure the cabins are clean and safe, we load and unload baggage, we help passengers at the ticket counter and at the gate. Contract workers manage flights and are responsible for the safety of passengers and the airplanes. We help airlines make billions every year, but too many of us struggle to afford rent, groceries, and pay the bills. Since 2022, airline CEOs have doubled and even tripled their pay, while airport workers like me have not seen our wages budge, while every other cost has skyrocketed. A single adult with no children in Maricopa County needs to be paid $25 an hour just to make ends meet, according to MIT. Summer travel season is here. The extreme heat is here. Workers don't want to risk their health, making billions for out-of-state corporations while we can't even pay to keep our AC running. I'm glad the city is taking this important first step to setting a fair wage for workers across the city. I would like to reshare a report about the impact of a $25 wage standard for airport workers that was conducted by Arizona State University last year. It shows that a fair wage for us means better Sky Harbor for everyone while having no impact on the city budget, and it would mean millions and millions of dollars would stay in our community and not go to out-of-state companies. $25 an hour is what we need to keep our airport safe and secure and to build a stable, experienced workforce. I encourage you to vote yes and take swift action to implement $25 an hour.
Thank you so much. That concludes comments on item 80. We have two related votes, and I'm going to do one comment on both of them. When I was just elected mayor, one of the first things we were able to do was raise the minimum wage for our city employees to $15 an hour. It was a great vote, unanimous vote at the Phoenix City Council because we wanted to do right by our city employees. However, that has not aged incredibly well. Now, the minimum wage for the entire state is above $15 an hour. And so I think it's time to take a look at what we're doing. As the cost of basic goods rise in our country, we want to make sure we're doing our part to ensure those working for the city of Phoenix and at city facilities are able to earn a fair and living wage. I'm grateful to have partners, including Vice Mayor Hodge Washington and Councilwoman Guardado, in that mission. This vote gives our staff direction to research how wages are keeping up and what possibilities are open on this council to address any shortcomings that we may have. It's also, in the next item, an opportunity to give staff the opportunity to research how we can keep as many people in their jobs as possible when contractors at a city facility change. That has been an issue for us recently, and we want to do what we can. This vote begins a significant stakeholder process to get input from a wide range of people and organizations who do work with the city. If you have any ideas, my office wants to hear from you. We really appreciate people being involved in this stakeholder process. Councilwoman Guardado.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank everyone that is here today. But special thank you to Mayor Gallego, to Vice Mayor Hodge Washington, and my colleagues in bringing forward this request to explore options for strengthening wages and workforce stability for the people who serve the city of Phoenix every day. Our employees keep our parks open, maintain our streets, and respond to emergencies, support our residents. And at the airport, we are the friendliest airport in the country, as people have said, but that is thanks to all of the workers that work in that airport that continue to smile, to all of our travelers that continue to travel to Phoenix, to making sure that the coffee looks right, that the bagels are amazing, that the airplanes are clean, and that the wheelchairs work. And we make sure that we take care of everyone that steps into Sky Harbor Airport. So to all of the workers, to everyone, thank you guys all so much for the work that you guys do day in and day out. As the cost of living continues to rise, it is appropriate for us to evaluate whether our compensation policies are keeping pace with the realities facing working families. This item does not establish a new wage today. It simply asks staff to conduct a thoughtful analysis of options, fiscal impacts, and strategies that could improve recruitment, retention, and workforce stability while remaining fiscally responsible. For me, this issue is not theoretical. I am personally aware of at least 4 individuals working in positions connected to city operations, 3 employed by Aramark and 1 by HMSOs working at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, who are currently experiencing homelessness and staying at St. Vincent de Paul shelter. These individuals go to work every day, contribute to our community, and yet still struggle to afford a place to live. Quite frankly, this is unacceptable. No one who works hard and helps keep our city running should have to wonder where they're going to sleep at night. While we recognize that housing affordability is a complex challenge, we also have a responsibility to examine whether compensation policies for workers serving city facilities are part of the solution. I also appreciate that this request examines ways to support contracted workers when vendor contracts change. That is the next item. These workers are an important part of delivering services to our residents, and workforce continuity benefits both employees and the public. We saw a situation that happened last year with a lot of workers that were displaced. Some of the workers were able to get jobs, and some of those workers continue to be unemployed till this day. And we need to make sure that as a city, we do the best that we can to keep everyone employed. And again, I applaud my colleagues, our city manager, our attorneys, everyone that's working incredibly hard on this. We've done so much work. We did the heat ordinance last year. We will continue to work with everyone that is affected by this, and I'm very grateful to be sitting here in front of all of you as we continue to work on this and we continue to build a better city. It is true that workers are the ones that make our state what it is, make our city what it is, and we are open. My office is open to talking to anyone who wants to talk about this and to making sure that we're being responsible and that we're giving everyone everything that they need, to making sure that we continue to lead as the 5th largest city in the country, and that we continue to compensate our workers and making sure that we keep everyone out of homelessness and that no one is one paycheck away from being homeless. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to just say thank you to Mayor Gallego and Councilman Gallardo for allowing me to join you in bringing this item forward. Over the past several years, Phoenix has made significant progress in strengthening recruitment and retention, but we also know that rising costs continues to place pressures on working families throughout our city. This request will ensure that we have the information necessary to make thoughtful, data-driven decisions about our workforce. This item will allow staff to evaluate our current compensation levels, examine options available to the city, analyze the fiscal impacts, and help us better understand how compensation affects workforce stability, recruitment, and retention. Simultaneously, this item seeks to ensure that any option presented remains fiscally responsible and aligned with what the city can sustainably afford. Our employees and the workers who provide services on behalf of the city are essential to delivering the services residents expect and deserve. The intent of this request is not to establish a policy today, rather to help us better understand what options may be available to the city, what legal considerations exist, and what impacts should a policy be implemented have on our workers, contractors, and city operation. I appreciate my colleagues who've joined this effort, and I look forward to reviewing the analysis when it comes back to council. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman Hernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I just want to thank the speakers. It's not always easy to be so vulnerable with your experience and your struggles when you come to these meetings. So thank you so much for being willing to share your experience and why this item is so important. On the retention side, right, I think we need to look at that. Part of that is looking at turnover, right? Like, we got to look at this as an investment because as, you know, we as a city and other partners look at our retention overall, if we continue to see a trend where we're having turnover in our workforce, that actually costs us more money, right? That's more training. So that's why I'm very supportive of this. I think this is a step in the right direction to look at how can we make sure that we're doing our part to really tackle and end poverty in the city of Phoenix, so that our workers can thrive, right, in our community. So thank you so much for everybody that has done so much work on this.
Councilwoman Pastor.
I would just like to thank the airport workers and those that have been coming in front of us, speaking about this. As you can see, we've gotten it to the 8-hour rule. We just need to keep it moving and do the research. I believe the research and what we will discover is that we do need to move the wage, and we will discover that we do have employees, not just airport workers, but all of some city employees living in poverty, and that we need to move it up in order for them not to live in poverty. So I want to give voice back to you because you brought it to our attention and you have been consistent in being here. I also want to thank Councilwoman Guardado, who has really been leading along with Councilwoman Hodge Washington and the mayor. She deserves kudos because she is and breathes the passion of pushing for workers' compensation and rights. So thank you, appreciate you.
Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Item 81 is a related item on 8-hour rule research on a potential worker retention policy. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 81.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We do have 5 members of the public here to speak. We'll begin with Lucia, followed by Sophia. Sophia. And if you want to go around back, thanks.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Lucia Salinas, and I have been a cook for HMS host at Sky Harbor Airport since 2003. I'm proud to be a union leader, and I was part of the effort to organize workers and bring voice to the people who keep the airport running every day. For almost 2 decades, I've seen firsthand what it takes to operate one of the busiest airports in the country. The work we do requires skills, experience, and dedication. When the pandemic hit, our industry faced an unprecedented crisis. Passengers traffic collapsed, flights were canceled, and thousands of airport workers lost their jobs. The city recognized that when travel returned, the airport will need experienced workers to come back and help rebuild the industry. That's why workers' retention and recall protection were put in place. Those protections gave workers who had been laid off the opportunities to return to their jobs when the work came back. Today, airport workers can still lose their jobs when contract change hands, even when the workers themselves continue. The airport still needs trained and experienced workers. What it changed often just the name of the contract. A worker retention ordinance recognize the experience matter. It protects workers who have dedicated years for their lives to serving this airport and help ensure continuity for business troubles in the city. I know my time is up. I didn't finish, but I hope we can.
You'd like us to support this, okay.
Please.
Sophia is next, followed by Anselm.
Especially since the Republicans took over the USA in January 2025, prices of everything necessary to live have been going up while we have the same paychecks with low wages. This is why I ask you to support worker retention at the airport and increase the minimum wage. As a survivor of human trafficking, I was only able to get free by the Bernie campaign providing a union job with a living wage, free housing, free transportation to and from work, and free food for my coworkers who noticed that I was not eating during lunch breaks. I've also helped to successfully pass legislation to increase the minimum wage in Maryland, and it took a council such as this to advance economic stability for the people, since business owners were focused on hoarding the wealth created by workers to the point that people like me couldn't keep up with the cost of rent, food, and transportation, so we became homeless. You've outlawed feeding and providing care to homeless people in the parks. If you don't support worker retention, you're supporting the deaths and mass incarceration of the people who have made Phoenix function. Thank you.
Anselm is next, followed by Marta.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, Council. My name is Anselm Huggins. I've worked for RMARC for a little over 10 years, but I've only been over at the Phoenix Convention Center for about 2 months. I'm here to speak to you on support for looking for potential living wage and worker retention protections for the city employees and city contracted employees. Phoenix Convention Center welcomes thousands of visitors every year. It plays a major role in the city's economy. It's a job I choose because I love the work I do. And I love welcoming people to Phoenix as well. However, when I hear that my brothers and sisters in the union are losing their jobs and they're losing their homes, it kind of pisses me off. These are people who work hard every day. These are people who show up every day and put out 110%. So what happens to me? What happens to these people when they lose their jobs? You know, even if we have years of experience, even the work we've done, there's no guarantee unless we put in these worker retention laws. One thing about worker retention policy is that this is something that Phoenix Council has done before for the Phoenix Convention Center, and this also included RMARC as well. That being said, Phoenix has obligated its companies under its contract to retain the existing workers. I'd like to see this continue in the future, but without a policy to make worker retention consistent in all contracts, there's nothing guaranteeing these new contracts that the workers will be retained. Right now, I work 3 jobs. The reason I work 3 jobs is in the summer, work goes away for the hospitality industry. So I'm at risk of losing my apartment. I'm at probably about 2 months behind on my bills for my energy. And I think that these protections would help people in my case. And I'd like to thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank you, Councilwoman Hodge Washington and Councilwoman Guadaro for all your hard work on this endeavor. Thank you.
Marta Proxima, and then Mohammed.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Marta Martel, trabajo durante 2 años para Sky Chef en la preparación de alimentos para la aerolínea del aeropuerto de Sky Harbor. Trabajé en el departamento de lavaplatos. A finales del 2025, mi vida y la de 200 compañeros de trabajo cambiaron para siempre cuando Sky Café perdió el contrato de American Airlines. De la noche a la mañana nos dijeron que podíamos perder nuestro empleo a pesar de contratar con años de experiencia y habernos hecho nada malo. El trabajo no desapareció, los aviones siguen necesitando servicios, todavía tienen que preparar los alimentos para los aviones. El aeropuerto sigue necesitando trabajadores experimentados. Lo único que cambió es la empresa que tenía el contrato. Mis compañeros y yo nos enfrentamos a la incertidumbre, la confusión y la posibilidad de perder nuestro sustento sin tener la culpa. No había garantía de los trabajadores como yo, que habíamos desempeñado esta labor con éxito, funcionando, conservando nuestro trabajo. En este tipo de inseguridad provoca estrés, ansiedad y noches de insomnio, afecta a nuestros seres queridos, afecta a nuestra salud, no hace posible planificar el futuro. Luego de conseguir empleo nuevamente, sus contratistas de Plan Fly, pero solo después de que el sindicato de Local 11 presentó un reclamo de mi nombre para recuperar mi puesto y recibir salarios atrasados. Muchos de mis compañeros no lograron con la misma suerte. Gracias.
Gracias, Marta.
Hello, my name is Marta Martel. I've been working for Sky Chefs for 2 years as a porter and a dishwasher at the airport. In late 2025, my life and the lives of 200 coworkers changed forever when American Airlines lost their contract. Overnight, we were told that we could lose our jobs, our employment, and despite having years of experience and not having done anything wrong, the job disappeared. But airliners, they still need services provided to, but still it goes on. They have to prepare the food for the airplanes. The airport still needs these experienced workers. The only thing that changed was the company that had the contract. My colleagues and I faced uncertainty, confusion, and the possibility of losing our jobs. Support, and without being at fault, there was no guarantee for workers like me who had successfully performed this work, functioning with this type of insecurity, which causes stress, anxiety, and sleepless nights. Does it affect our loved ones? It does. It affects our health to the point also of making it impossible to plan for the future. Then, after getting the job, I was again hired by their flight contractors, but only after Local 11 Union filed a claim in my name to get my job back and receive back wages. Many of my colleagues had the same luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final speaker will be Mohammed.
Good afternoon. My name is Reza. May later speak English. I have interpreter. زور بخیر. نام من رضاست و من تا زمانی که در اسکای شیفز قرارداد خود را با امریکن ایرلاینز از دست داد، در فرودگاه فونیکس اسکای هایبر برای اسکای شیفز کار میکردم. کار میکردم. وقتی این اتفاق افتاد بسیاری از ما ناگهان خود را در یک وضعیت گیج کننده و پر استرس یافتیم. به ما گفته شد که اسکای شف قرارداد را از دست میدهد، اما هرگز روشن نشد که چه اتفاقی برای کارگرانی که هر روز این کار را انجام میدادند خواهد افتاد. و برخی از ما گفته شد که اسکای کافه درخواست بدهیم. دیگران شنیدند که تولید غذا با آرمارک واگذار خواهد شد. بسیاری از کارگران نمیدانستند که باید به کدام شرکت درخواست بدهند، چه کسی استخدام میکند، آیا اصلا شغل خواهند داشت یا نه. من چند سال پیش به این کشور آمدم به این امید که شروع تازه داشته باشم و فرصت بزرگ کردن فرزندانم را در اینجا به دست آورم. من خوش شانس بودم توانستم در بخش تولید غذا در آرمارک شغل به دست آورم. اما بسیاری از همکاران سابقم به این اندازه خوش شانس نبودند. بعضی ها به اسکای کافه درخواست دادند و هرگز پاسخ روشنی دریافت نکردند. بسیاری از کارگران با تجربه که سالها در این فرودگاه خدمت کرده بودند با این پرسش باقی ماندند که چی بر سر شغل‌های آمد که برای به دست آوردن آنها.
We have only, unfortunately, 2 minutes, so if you could translate, that would be great.
Good afternoon. My name is Reza, and I used to work for Sky Chef at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport until the company lost the contract with American Airlines. When that happened, many of us suddenly found ourselves in confusing and stressful situation. We were told that Sky Chef was losing the contract, but it was never clear what would happen to the workers who had been doing the job every day. Some of us were told to apply with Sky Cafe. Others heard that food production would be contracted out to Airmark. Many workers didn't know which company they were supposed to apply to, who was hiring, whether they would have a job at all. I came to this country a few years ago hoping that I would have a fresh start and opportunity to raise my children here. I was fortunate. I was able to get a job with Airmark doing food production, but many of my former co-workers were not as lucky. Some applied to Sky Cafe and never received clear answers. Others applied to Airmark and never heard back. Many experienced workers who had spent years serving this airport were left wondering what happened to the jobs they had worked so hard to earn. A worker retention ordinance would create a fair and transparent process that is good for workers, good for employer, and good for the traveling public. Experienced workers know the job, understand safety and quality standards, and help ensure smooth operation at one of the busiest airport in the country. I support workers' retention ordinance because no one should lose their livelihood simply because the name on the contract change. Thank you, Mayor Gallego and Councilwoman Gordado and Hodge Washington for getting us on the path to worker retention policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mayor. So thank you to all the workers that came out and spoke today. You could see the diversity at the airport in all of our different workplaces. Thank you for your testimony. And yes, worker retention is incredibly important. As a former housekeeper that almost lost her job in December because company did not want to respect the worker retention language that we had in our contract. I understand the uncertainty of almost losing your job. So as a council, we are committed to looking for the best solutions that work for everyone. We saw what happened last year with the SkyChefs workers, and we continue to hear the horror stories. And we also understand that we're also living in some unprecedented times. We see the challenges in front of us, and we are going to try to make the best that we can of this situation that everyone is in. So thank you again to all city management, to our city manager, Ed Zerker, Assistant City Manager, Lori Bays, Assistant City Manager, Ginger Spencer, the Human Resources Department, the Budget and Research Department, and all of the staff who will help evaluate these options and bring recommendations back to this council. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be short because this item is closely connected to the workforce discussion we had just a vote earlier. Across the country, many local governments have explored ways to minimize disruption when city services contract change from one vendor to another. In some cases, workers who have been successfully performing their services can face uncertainty even when the work itself continues. Again, the intent is not to establish a policy today, but it is again to help us better understand what options may be available to the city, what considerations exist, and what impact it would have. The individuals who help maintain our facilities, support city functions, and provide services play an important role to the success of our entire organization. I believe it's appropriate for council to ask staff to conduct this research and return with information so we can have a thoughtful discussion based on facts, best practices, and legal guidance. Again, thank you to everyone who has joined this effort, and I look forward to further conversations. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Thank you. We'll go next to item 89, funding for Moreland Phase 2 affordable housing development. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 89.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and I'll turn to the Vice Mayor for comments.
Thank you, Mayor. I am proud that I'm going to loop my comments together for 89, 90, and 91, even though 90 and 91 have already passed. I really wanted to just say that items 89 and 90 represent important investments in expanding affordable housing and workforce housing in District 8 and across Phoenix with respect to item 90. The Moreland, which is the second phase of the former Deck Park Vista redevelopment, will deliver 105 new affordable units with at least 80% dedicated to seniors and approximately 27 workforce housing units. Phoenix continues to face a housing shortage, especially for seniors on fixed income and working families who want to remain close to jobs, transit, and services. This project responds directly to those needs while leveraging federal resources, tax credit, product-based vouchers, and public-private partnership in a way that minimizes the impact on the general fund. I just want to say I really appreciate and I commend the Housing Department's work and look forward to seeing the Moreland continue to take shape as a strong housing investment in District 8. With respect to item 90, it supports the Edison Eastlake Choice Neighborhood Initiative, one of the most transformative housing and neighborhood revitalization efforts in the city's history. This comprehensive strategy goes beyond housing alone. It integrates neighborhood improvements, transportation access, economic opportunity, and long-term community investment. The additional funding will help advance redevelopment that is expected to create 475 new mixed-income housing units, contributing to a broader vision of more than 1,000 units across the Choice neighborhood area. And lastly, item 91, it allows the Housing Department to seek federal approval to convert 57 sites of single-family housing into affordable for-sale single-family residents. Half of these homes would be sold to owner-occupants, converting public housing residents into homeowners. Together, these items reflect what we can achieve through strong federal, local, and community partnerships, preserving community, expanding opportunity, and making meaningful progress on Phoenix's housing challenge. I just want to again thank the Housing Department staff, residents, and community partners for their continued commitment to this work. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Roll call.
Guardado. Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Item 95 is a contract with the Arizona Community Action Association, better known as Wildfire. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 95.
Second.
Motion and a second. Turn to the Vice Mayor for comments.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I just really, again, I wanted to state my support for item 95. This investment will provide critical emergency financial assistance to approximately 2,000 low-income households across Phoenix, helping residents stay current on utility bills and avoid service interruption. This funding is a blend of federal utility and program resources. At a time when many families are still facing financial strains, these resources play an essential role in stabilizing household and preventing deeper crises. Just this morning, I received on my personal call a call from one individual who was specifically looking for utility assistance. It was a reminder that these resources are still needed in our community, and I appreciate the Human Services Department and our partners at Wildfire for continuing to deliver this support efficiently and at scale, and I'm proud to support this item. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Roll call.
Guardado. Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes. Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Item 101 is the annual review and updates to the Neighborhood Services Code Enforcement Policy. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 101.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Councilwoman Hernandez.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Just have a couple questions for Spencer and NSD on this. Thank you so much, Spencer. Just have a couple questions. What criteria exists that establishes the need for PPD involvement in enforcement of a violation? Or like when and why would we turn over a violation to PPD?
Mayor, Councilwoman Hernandez, there's a number of reasons why we may work with the Phoenix Police Department on enforcement efforts. Neighborhood Services is responsible for enforcing Chapter 39 of the City Code, as well as sections of Chapter 8, 10, and 41. If a complaint falls outside of those areas, then we may refer it over to the police department or other departments such as Public Works. Vice versa, they may refer complaints to us if it falls within our purview. And then at times we may coordinate with the police or other city departments for known nuisance properties where there may be violations of codes that multiple departments enforce. This is especially true in our community safety plan areas. And then we also work with the police department to serve administrative warrants if necessary, or to complete an inspection or abatement activities at a property. And then the last area is if we have staff who are threatened. So for health and safety reasons, we may have police help us in an inspection.
Okay, thank you so much, Spencer. I really appreciate just that clarification, right, for the residents and for the community and the audience listening. Today I'm not going to be supporting these changes. First, I just want to flag that, we did raise some concerns on specifically the consecutive citation issue in the ordinance. And I don't think those changes or those concerns have been addressed. So I still have, remaining concerns around that. Second, I'm still a little unclear on the process under which you as a director can take action to enforce or not enforce a violation. Third, I have a really serious concern around the slippery slope that, how NSD can move forward when it comes to enforcement in particular. We give your department a lot of power to really police our lives, and the criteria under which they can ticket us and criminalize us are too broad and undefined still for me to support this. I do believe that we are weaponizing enforcement against some of our residents who are just trying to live their lives. And I don't want to see NSD become a mini police department. I already call you the fun police, so I don't want to call you a mini police department, right? So I know this is likely going to pass, but I do want to continue to work with you and your department to lead, make sure we're really leading with more educational support for our residents, or in District 7 at least, instead of moving strictly, like moving in a manner that we're doing a lot of enforcement. But just thank you so much for always willing to have the tough conversations with my team and with our residents. I do really appreciate your partnership. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Roll call.
Guardado. Yes. Hernandez.
No.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-1.
Next is item 106, which is an authorization to accept vacant land from cash holdings and to designate it as mountain preserve. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 106.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. A big thank you to Councilman Robinson and our Parks Department for working on this item. It will help us grow our beloved preserve system. The Center for the Future of Arizona has polled Arizonans and found that one of the things that most unites us is our love for the beautiful open space that we have in our state. I am a huge fan of our park system and particularly our wonderful mountains. Since 2020, Phoenix has acquired more than 2,400 acres of preserve land. We are adding acreage to the crown jewel of Phoenix's mountain system, the South Mountain Park and Preserve. At more than 16,000 acres, it's one of the largest municipally managed parks in the United States. One of the things that makes us so unique is that our city has grown up around our mountains. Many cities grow over the mountains, and we have decided to preserve them, which I think was a wonderful decision. While other cities may have erased their natural landscapes, we celebrate them and they're part of our city's character. So very excited to support this one. And Councilman Robinson, thank you for your work and connection to this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Item 111, I will ask the city clerk to read the title.
Item 111 is for ordinance G7523, an ordinance amending Phoenix City Code, Chapter 10A, Sections 10A-1 and 10A-2, related to indemnification provisions in facility use agreements.
Vice Mayor?
Motion to approve item 111.
Second.
Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Item 124 is next. That is a contract with Motorola for the NVLS database subscription services. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 124.
Second.
Councilwoman Hernandez.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I have a couple questions for Phoenix PD. Not sure who's going to join us at the table.
Mayor, members of the council, Councilwoman Hernandez, coming to the table today, we have Assistant Chief Brian Lee and Commander Bill Vickers.
Thank you so much, Lori, and thank you so much, Assistant Chief and Commander, for joining us. Just really quick questions. First, I want to start by referencing two articles that dropped this week on Interval around license plate readers, and not here in Arizona, but in other states, and how they're being used in surveillance. First, one of the articles mentions reviews of the Flock surveillance camera records that showed that at least 18 officers in other cities were using the software to stalk exes and strangers. One particular officer in Florida ran his ex-girlfriend plates about 69 times, according to what was reported. You know, this is widely unacceptable and cannot be tolerated in any department, and I think we would all agree that that should not be tolerated here. Can you, either of you, review for me what parameters are in place to make sure that we prevent that sort of thing that happened in Florida for the system that we have here from being abused in that manner?
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of council, Councilwoman Hernandez. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the areas that was a primary focus for us when we put together our policy, was to make sure that it was in alignment with our current operations orders for the department. Police officers, when they use any of the computer systems, software databases, or conduct any research that's related to police activity, they have to follow a very strict policy in terms of identifying what the use is for. Everything they use it for is actually creates a record, a city record, for us to be able to go back and conduct audits or look for misuse or abuse. I too had seen the same article. I've read through it as well. Although there were some questions, I wasn't sure why they ran it so many times, but again, it certainly would have been one of those items that would have jumped off the table for us if a supervisor doing their normal monthly reviews, if they're looking at that and they see the same person being run by the same individual that many times, that would have certainly been a red flag for us. For discipline with the police department, our officers are actually held to a pretty high standard because not only can they lose their access for certification, but they can also suffer discipline up to and including termination for misuse of those types of city systems.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief Lee. And I think my next question was going to be who will have access to the data collected by RL. I almost went with the acronym, but I'm going to call them for the audience, the license plate readers. And on the audit, you mentioned the audit piece a little bit. How often will those audits be happening? I think you mentioned monthly, correct?
Mayor, members of council, Councilwoman Hernandez, back on November 19th of 25, when we moved forward with the use of this, we established the audit process at that point. During the month of December of 25, we actually conducted a test audit just to check our process, make sure that the information we were collecting was accurate. And then we started with the first quarter of 2026. That audit has been completed and we're getting ready to start the second quarter, which will happen at the end of the month of June. So we are doing quarterly audits and that was done in consultation with City Audit Department.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And as we find, if we find any discrepancies where there'll be training that will address that could be provided to our officers to make sure that we are preventing any unneeded access?
Mayor, members of council, Councilwoman Hernandez, yeah, absolutely. With that auditing process, once we go through and we look at we actually use a 10% auditing percentage that we go through of all the queries that were run. Just to give you an example, for the last quarter was roughly 25,000 queries that were run through the system. So we're auditing about 10% of that. The national standard, according to the audit department, is around 3%. So we are doing more than the national average. But if we do find anything in there that is suspicious, we have systems in place internally within the department. As I mentioned earlier, the discipline system, but we also identify whether or not it is a training need or if somebody just isn't using the system the way it was intended or designed.
Okay, thank you, Chief Lee. And then the second article cited product sheets from a license plate reader manufacturer that includes add-on sensors that can capture phones, earbuds and other devices and link them to their owners to specific cars, which I think that article was much more, well, it was just as equally concerning. So I just want to make sure, that's a wild overstep that there's manufacturers that are doing this and other law enforcement agencies that are utilizing those systems. I want to make sure that, I guess, it's just the authority that other law enforcement departments have taken to use those license plate readers. I want to make sure that I understand and the public understands, is our department and our license plate readers going to include any of those added on capacities?
Mayor, members of council, Councilwoman Hernandez, that's a great question. That second article I am not familiar with, okay. So I'm hearing that for the first time. I can assure you that since we use Motorola products, we do not use Flock. So I'm not aware of or familiar with any of those enhanced technology supplemental pieces that could be added on. I can tell you that all within the city of Phoenix, all of our systems, the only thing that we are using is the Motorola, and that is the camera only. We do not have any additional technology. And if we were looking at any expanded technology, we would have to come back and bring that before the council.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief Lee. And I'll send you the article so you so the team can review it and you are all aware of what is happening in some other cities. So thank you for sharing that. I'm glad that's not happening here. Those are just my only two questions. And I still have a lot of concerns that the automatic license plate readers have more benefit, or the benefits outweigh the concerns for me. So I am going to be voting no on that today. I still have some mistrust around how we won't violate our residents' First Amendment rights and privacy concerns. It's, again, a slippery slope that we go down with some of this technology and the uses on it. I understand, right, the need to maintain, to have tools to address issues that are happening. I just don't believe that the automatic license plate readers are a tool that we should be using. So for that reason, I'm not going to be supporting this item today. I do want us to see better protections in the systems that are out there, and maybe that would change my position at a future time. Thank you so much, Chief Lee. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Guardado.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief, I just had a question for you. On the license plate readers, I know I was a huge advocate for those. Can you just tell us a couple of success stories that we've had thanks to license plate readers, given all the challenge, especially along 27th Avenue?
Mayor, members of council, Councilwoman Guardado. Yes, fortunately for us, we continue to see at kind of an unprecedented rate the number of successes that are happening every day, and we are able to capture some of those through our current real-time operations centers that we have in the Desert Horizon precinct as well as the Cactus Park precinct. This technology is supporting patrol-based efforts within each of the precincts, and we are looking at ways to continue to expand that to be able to provide greater support citywide. However, to your point, one of the most recent success stories that we've had, only because it just happened a couple of weeks ago, on June 2nd of this month, we had the incident where it was a homicide of one teen out at Desert Sky Mall, 7611 West Thomas Road. When the suspect produced the gun and fired multiple rounds, we did have one victim who was deceased. The investigators on the scene, as soon as the officers arrived, began searching the nearby cameras based on the description of the vehicle that was provided by witnesses and bystanders at the scene. That information was critical because the license plate readers that are networked throughout that part of the valley were able to pick the vehicle up, which was, again, a start for investigators to be able to conduct their necessary intelligence workup to be able to identify where the vehicle was associated with, and then they went from there. Now, while this investigation is still ongoing, investigators have shared multiple times that the use of this technology early on in an investigation is critical to developing those first pieces of investigative follow-up.
No, thank you so much for that. I just think along 27th Avenue, a few years ago, being called on by residents with all the issues happening with the drugs, with the prostitution, with that one hotel we had that we were able to shut down. I see how essential the license plate readers have been and will continue to be until we don't have a full-on capacity within the police department that we're able to hire all the police officers that we can. We need all the technology to continue to keep our neighbors safe. And we have a responsibility as council members, at least I feel the responsibility as council members, to use all the tools that we have to continue to keep neighbors safe. I was just in a meeting last week where neighbors, finally told me, we see improvement, Betty. We see everything that you guys are doing is working, and we're not done. There's still a lot to be done. Kudos to Senator Bravo, who was able to pass HB 2720, the prostitution bill, and where there's a lot more work that needs to be done. But I think that the reason that bill was able to be passed is because of all the work that we're doing as a city, the work that the police department is doing, the real-time operations centers, all of the work, all of the investment that we've put in, and we're finally having some luck at the state level and being able to pass a very substantial bill to continue to build on what needs to happen on 27th Avenue and everywhere else throughout the city. The incident that happened at Desert Sky Mall was also in my district, and my heart goes out to those families and the challenges and the issues that continue to happen through the district. I continue to get the text messages every day of all the incidents that continue to happen, and I see how essential it is to making sure that we have the license plate readers and everything that we need. We also passed CTI not that long ago that I think helps protect our residents, and that we continue to push and we continue to make sure that we continue to keep people's information private. I trust the work that you guys are doing, and as a council, we continue to do a lot of work that helps us protect our residents as we continue to do the work that we do. So thank you for all of your guys' hard work and everything that you guys do out there, out in the streets. And like I said, we're not done. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done throughout our city, specifically on 27th Avenue. But definitely, we're very thankful for everything that you guys do every day. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
No.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes, can I explain my vote?
Yes.
I just want to quickly say that it was a license plate readers that helped on several incidences on 27th Avenue in Thomas. In particular, 2 murders or homicides, sorry. And if it wasn't for that, the license plate readers, we wouldn't have been able to figure out what happened in that space and who did it. So it does bring value to our community, and it helps us solve crime. So thank you.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-1.
Item 128 is the Youth Engagement Training Service request for award. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 128.
Second.
Councilman Hernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. Don't have any questions on this. Just wanted to make a couple of brief comments. First, my team flagged that the vendor for this contract, or flagged this vendor for their contract with OAT. Their curriculum simply did not accurately prepare youth for engaging with our police department. It teaches youth to act right, which really shifts the responsibility off of our trained professional officers and puts it on the teens whose brains are literally still developing. To me, that's really unacceptable. Second, there's no community or parent oversight on this curriculum. We actually don't even know what the curriculum will be, and voting to approve a contract of up to $120,000 without knowing exactly what that curriculum will be, I can't support that. Next, the DOJ flagged, one of the findings in the DOJ investigation was that our police interactions with youth and kids as disturbing and likely to traumatize our children. Instead of continuing to force interactions between our officers and youth, we should be asking caretakers, counselors, and individuals who can offer support to make that contact. Overall, the title says it all: policing the teen brain. Teens don't need policing. We cannot fundamentally understand them if the default approach begins and ends with policing. Kids need guidance, they need mentorship, they need care, they need investment into resources for them and for their families. Policing will not solve the challenges that our youth face. And today, finally, today is also pretty triggering because yesterday in Mississippi, police shot and killed a 1-year-old baby boy, a Black boy. Our children, especially our Black and brown children, are being murdered, like point blank, period. And I cannot, in good conscience, vote to approve anything that increases the interaction of police with our kids. Every time our officers interact with our youth, those officers literally carry the possibility of death into that engagement. So for me, police shouldn't be nowhere near our kids. Thanks, Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Can I ask a few questions about the training?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council, we do have Assistant Chief Jeff Benza and Commander Brian Knoopel, as well as as well as Deborah Hale. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you explain the process that the department underwent in determining this training as appropriate, to determine the feasibility and the appropriateness of this training?
Mayor, members of council, Vice Mayor Hodge Washington, yes, we have been working on this project since 2024, and when we first started it, we went through a gap analysis to see where we had gaps, and training was one of the areas that we needed to improve upon. So we went through, I went through a nationwide search and spoke to several other agencies across the nation to see what training they had been offering, and that's how I came upon this vendor with their curriculum. They've trained agencies in 28 states. They are certified with the International Association of Director of Law Enforcement Standards of Training, and they are a nonprofit, and their goal is to increase education with police officers to reduce escalation of low-level incidents and to gain greater insight in what might be motivating youth conduct, and help officers understand how youth develop and how they grow, and so that we can understand them better.
Thank you. Because I did just a quick little research into the training as well, because it did pique my interest, and I did see that it was utilized in a number of cities, but I didn't realize it was so extensive to get into 28 states. I know, for example, Boston, LA, San Francisco, Baltimore, Washington, DC, Fresno, Cleveland, Charlottesville, a number of municipalities have utilized this. And one of the things that I don't know if you have any data regarding any metrics of success that other cities or municipalities have seen utilizing this program.
Mayor, members of council, Vice Hodge Washington, yes, I did talk to several agencies to get information on how the training went in their departments. With the Baltimore Police Department specifically, they said they had a huge reduction in use of force with youth. And I also spoke with the Salt Lake City SRO Chief of Police for their school districts there, and they indicated that they have had a lower number of arrests. I don't have specific data from those agencies, but I also spoke with Chief Gandy in Madison, Alabama, who also attended the training when he was a captain at Virginia Beach, and it was so successful there, he brought it to his agency when he became chief and said that it has helped their department tremendously, reducing incidents and helping officers understand how to escalate with youth better. I'm sorry, de-escalate with youth better.
Thank you for the correction. And then my last question is, if this is approved, what are some of the metrics of success that the Phoenix Police Department will use in determining whether or not this is a successful program?
Mayor, members of council, Vice Mayor Hodge Washington, one of the metrics we're going to look at is we already look at officer-initiated contacts with people. So we're going to look at those things, the stop searches and arrests that we've talked about. We're going to look at use of force, and we're going to look at youth arrest totals. Those are some of the big metrics that we see. We want to see if those increase or decrease. Having sat through a presentation from the vendor, I think that this vendor will be able to provide a lot of education for our staff. We give them a lot more tools that they had not had, excuse me, previously, to allow them to de-escalate situations and to understand where the youth, where the kids are coming from as they interact with our officers.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the clarification and the additional information.
Mayor?
Councilwoman.
Thank you. Chief, I know I asked you this question before, because I think part of the reason why we're here is because of the DOJ investigation, right? And trying to take a lot more serious the incidents that we have had in the past. And those are things that we cannot erase, but I appreciate the work that you guys are doing to move forward, and how in tune you guys are about we need to have a better relationship with our youth. We have to figure things out, and we're not perfect as a city. You guys are not perfect as a police department, but yes, one one incident with our youth is one too many, and I trust that you guys know that. But my question is, with this group, I did a little bit of my own research, and I spoke to some of my counterparts in Los Angeles and heard really good things about this. But what about diversity and inclusivity? And we've talked about the different cultures. How much of that is going to be included in the curriculum?
Mayor, members of council, Councilwoman Guardado, I'm going to pass that off to Deb Hale, our project manager, for that one.
Mayor, members of council, and Councilwoman Guardado, I have spoken with this vendor over several months because we wanted to make sure that this was an appropriate product for us. When they come to do the train the trainer, they actually have psychologists that come and teach a portion of the training, a large portion of the training, because a large portion of the training focuses on developmental explanation of normative and compromised team behaviors. And so there's going to be a large portion of this training that focuses on the developmental stages of youth, why they are risk takers, and that type of thing. And then they will also have partnerships with community to assist in the teaching. They like to encourage youth from the community to come and do scenario training at the end of the training to use some of the skills that they've learned. And then we also have juvenile court probation, those that are very familiar with like the juvenile diversion programs and things like that. They come and also teach portion of the course. So we have psychologists, clinical psychologists, the juvenile court, we have attorneys, and then also we involve the community in the scenario portion of the training at the end.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And anything that we can do to be helpful with this, please let me know. I have a teenager. I have a 15-year-old. I go to sleep better every night just knowing that we have SROs in our schools, that we have people that are protecting our children. We have seen what happened in Texas a couple of years ago, what continues to happen throughout the country. We need to make sure that we keep our children safe when they're in school, when they're out of school. I know there is a commitment on this dais to hold you guys accountable to do it, but then I also know that you guys hold yourselves accountable as well. So I really appreciate the work that you guys are doing. In any way that we can be helpful, that my office can be helpful with the different high schools in my district. Wherever we can help, let us know. And again, thank you everyone. Thank you, Lori, as well, right, for leading a lot of this charge and helping us on making sure that that we are complying with all the different demands from the DOJ report. Thank you guys all so much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
No.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark. Yes. Waring. Yes. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-1.
We next go to item 129, the approval to enter into agreements with various schools and school districts for school resource officer services. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 129.
Second.
Noting that Councilman Waring will not participate in this item, roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
No.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark. Yes. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-1.
Items 133 and 135 are both related to public transit, and we will take them both together. Vice Mayor, do you have a motion on 133 and 135?
Motion to approve item 133 and item 135.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Stark. Yes. Waring. Hodge Washington.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-1.
Item 152 is the appeal of the hearing officer decision for a land abandonment in District 6. We will begin with a staff report, and then we'll hear first from the applicant and then the appellant. Each will have 5 minutes. For planning items, there is an opportunity to do a PowerPoint if you wish. Turn it over to our Planning and Development Director, Josh Bednark.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. We have a short staff presentation to provide the council an overview of the request. To my left is Assistant Director Mike Baxley. Mike will provide an overview of the request. I'll turn to Mike. Thank you.
There we go. We get live. Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just a quick overview for you for the appeal here and the application. We have there we go. No. Here we go. Okay, we're working now. Perfect, thank you. So right here, this slide shows the red area of the area that's been applied for an abandonment. And so the application came to us from Jordan Greenman of Greenman Law Firm. It was for an alley abandonment, and it was located between 5440 East Cali Camellia and 4001 North 54th Place. It was measuring approximately 28 feet by 133 feet in length, and when it was applied for, the applicant asserted that the alley segment was no longer necessary for public use. This is a current picture or a recent picture of the alley in question here, just to give you some reference. And then after the application had been ruled on by the hearing officer, it was appealed by Kate Melendres. She is a resident and neighbor of the applicant. She appealed on 3 different reasons. The first one was stipulation 1, which provided the applicant a choice to relocate utilities and retain the public utility easement. Stipulation 4, which required the applicant to retain a 16-foot easement for public utility easement, refuse collection, pedestrian access, and emergency services. And then stipulation 5, which required the applicant to retain a 28-foot wide sewer easement. This kind of gives you an overview of the alley in question and how it would sort out with all the easements there. From the gray line kind of off center, you'll see that would be where the property line would be divided to the property to the south and the property to the north. The red dotted line would be the finished easement that would allow for the access through the alley. One of the things that came up in processing this application for appeal is that the city code requires that all appeals must be filed within 15 calendar days of the decision date. In this case, we wound up accepting that appeal on the 16th day, and that was because there was a holiday in between, and staff inappropriately assumed that that extended it out a day. They gave the appellant the date that it was due on, and the appellant did apply on that date. And so it was done in good faith, and everything else was done consistent with what normal circumstances would be. Really what that rule does mean is that the calendar days are extended when the holiday lands on the last day of it, but it did not land on the last day, it landed in the middle. And options for council today would include upholding the hearing officer's conditional approval of the abandonment or a motion to overturn the abandonment hearing officer's decision and deny the request. And with that, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions before we have the applicant and the appellant come up and speak.
All right, I think we are ready for the applicant and the appellant. So each side will have 5 minutes. You may have any number of speakers that you wish, but if anyone speaks during the 5-minute period, we will not call them for 2-minute public comment later, and we will begin with Jordan on behalf of the applicant.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council. Can you see there we go, thank you. Jordan Greenman Law Firm, 1621 West Willetta Street, Phoenix, Arizona, 85007. Here on behalf of the appellee, not the appellant. I represent Garrett Knifer as well as Sven Johnson, who are sitting here. We originally applied for this back in February. We received conditional approval, and the appellants, the neighbors, appealed this. Our request is fairly simple. We're asking you to look at this conditional approval and to uphold this request on the merits. Our request is done under abandonment 250049. What we're requesting here is fairly straightforward. The neighbors had a series of concerns such as accessibility, public utilities, access, and easement questions. We believe the city has adhered to all of those through their series of stipulations. There are 4 stipulations that address access, utilities, things like trash pickup, and people's ability to use the alley, as it were. There is no error in the request. There is no error in the abandonment hearing officer's stipulations of approval. To give you a quick overhead, here's what it looks like. So the alley itself is shown highlighted in red. My client's properties are shown with the star. As you can see, this connects roughly to 56th, 54th, and Lafayette to the north here. What was approved generally was the 28-foot oversized alley. It is oversized. A typical alley is 16 feet. This was taken under advisement. It was reviewed by the city for an additional month after the hearing itself. The staff recommended approval with conditions and stipulations. And in doing so, you can see the current alley segment right here. In doing so, they applied the applicable standard, which is under 3164, and they determined it was met. It is a fairly narrow question whether the right-of-way is necessary as a public roadway. Staff reviewed this under that standard. The departments and utilities commented, and the staff recommended approval with a series of stipulations. The appeal itself does not address any legal error itself. It, in a way, confuses what easements are, their ability to protect rights of way and protect people's access. Now, this abandonment makes sense for several reasons. The alley itself is 28 feet wide, which is nearly double the standard alley. There are 2 adjacent subdivisions which were dedicated in the 1950s that created a substantially larger right-of-way than necessary. So the public uses here can be retained through the easements. We believe this is a win-win. My client, as well as his neighbor to the north, are both hoping to put ADUs in their backyard. And what this effectively does is it gives them an additional 18 and 10 feet, respectively, to one of them I know will be housing an older family member, and the other one will be putting an ADU in there, hopefully, potentially in the future, to help increase the amount of housing in this area. This is a very expensive and difficult area to get into. So our goal is to increase the housing standard by increasing the setbacks, increasing the lot sizes, things like that. So there are a series of relevant stipulations here that the city requested. There are 4 or 5 of them: a public utility easement, a refuse collection easement, emergency vehicle easement, a sewer easement, and a pedestrian access easement. Now, what these effectively do is they create a privatized space that has public use tied to it. So people will still be able to go through this. This will not be gated off. It will not be walled off. A refuse will not change. The bins can still be in the alley. There will be no obstructions to this area. We're fairly surprised to see the appeal, as we believe the stipulations were addressed and the neighborhood concerns were also addressed. So in all fairness, this will look like an active alley. It will bark like an active alley. People will still be able to go back there. Trash trucks, utilities will still be able to access that area. The appeal itself, looking at it, raises several concerns such as enforceability, utility access, and permanence. The appeal does not identify any sort of defect in the decision. It simply asks you to relitigate the concerns that were resolved through the stipulations themselves. As we can see, all of the utility easements will address the concerns from the neighbors. We believe this should sit as exactly approved or conditionally approved by the hearing officer itself. Our request here is to uphold this decision, and in doing so, uphold the hearing officer's conditional approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from Kate Melendres, the appellant.
Just trying to figure out how to get it up on the screen here. Good morning, good afternoon, Mayor Gallego and council members. My name is Kate Melendres, and I am a District 6 resident. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. While I am speaking as the appellant, I also want council to know that many neighboring residents share the same concerns and also signed a petition requesting that this alley remain public. As you can see on the slide, ongoing public use is a primary concern. The alley segment at issue continues to serve multiple public functions. And as shown on this map that Mr. Greenman also put up, the alley segment sits at the edge of the alleyway and serves as the only direct public connection from the alley to those neighboring streets behind. Residents regularly use this portion of the alley as a connection point to safely access the adjoining neighborhood. The alley segment is also the entry point that supports certain public services, including solid waste collection and utility access. And you'll see a picture of this later. This is not an abandoned or unused strip of land. It remains an active public right-of-way serving both residents and city functions. Safety. This point is particularly important to the residents in this area. The alley provides the only practical neighborhood connection that allows many residents, children, and pet owners to avoid walking along portions of 56th Street. Of note, portions of 56th Street lack sidewalks and carry significant traffic, which is a safety risk for families with young children and those walking pets. The issue is not whether another route technically exists, which you can see on the yellow there, and Mr. Greenman also showed this. The issue is whether a safe and practical public connection exists today, and that alley segment at issue provides that connection. And let's talk briefly about the stipulations and enforceability concerns. To be clear, I'm not suggesting that the stipulations are unnecessary. In fact, I believe they are important protections. Their existence demonstrates the ongoing public need. Numerous conditions were required to preserve access for waste collection, utilities, and other public functions. If the alley truly had no continuing public value, these protections would not have been necessary. Our concern is that once the right-of-way is abandoned, enforcement of those stipulations become far more difficult and burdensome for neighboring residents and future city staff. And this is that picture of the trash truck coming through the alley. This is last week, and you can see the overgrown vegetation there makes it difficult for the truck to get through. And again, our question was, where is the PUE and pedestrian easement going to be given those conditions? There's a few more current pictures that demonstrate the overgrown vegetation as well. Public impacts versus private benefits. The applicants receive clear and substantial benefits. By contrast, the public loses a right-of-way that has existed for decades and that continues to be actively used. But possibly most importantly is the overwhelming community support that opposes this alley abandonment. Many neighboring residents took the time to sign a petition asking that this alley remain public. This demonstrates that the concerns raised in the appeal extend beyond a couple of homeowners and reflect broader neighborhood concerns about the loss of a public right-of-way. As you can see on this map, the circles in red depict homes in opposition of the abandonment. The circle in green is the applicant, and the blue are unknown opinion, or we were unable to contact those. And those without a circle were not contacted either. Our request to City Council, for the reasons we stated, is we respectfully request that you reverse the approval and deny the abandonment request. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Thank you for those presentations. We will now go to public comment. And just to clarify, we have 2 David Keens who will be participating. I will first call in-person David Keen, and then we will go to virtual David Keen. So in-person David Keen, the floor is yours, followed by Annette, and then we will go virtual.
And thank you. Am I standing at the right podium?
Yes, perfect.
So I'm David Keen, K-E-E-N, and we do not get our mail mixed up for some reason. So
incredible.
Mayor and members of council, thank you for my time. I'm an immediate neighbor. The counsel for the applicants brings up a good point. There are a number of stipulations that should provide for easements on this alley that in theory would protect public use. And I want to tell you from my own personal experience, and I feel very uncomfortable talking to you today because I was told by one of the applicants to not speak to the city ever. But he wasn't very specific about city council, so I don't think you count, and he could have just been having a bad day. But we have on multiple occasions had an issue with trash being dumped in the alley by the contractor of one of the applicants. This has gone on for a while now, and my wife and I did everything by the book. You nicely knock on the door, tell them hey, you may not know this, but they dump the trash, and it's causing a big issue in the alley. We were unable to reach him. We sent him a letter, waited to see if that would clear it up, finally sent communication to the city along with the letter, and it was resolved. That was last year. This year we did the same thing. I approached to the door, knocked on the door, and I was very agitated and said, "You are the person who sent that letter. You may never talk to the city on my behalf again." And I backed away from his door. I do not feel comfortable on his property. So this alley will be his property in the future. I do not feel comfortable being on it. Again, it could have been a bad day, but better safe than sorry. This enforcement of the easement does not need to be my problem. The city has told us that they will not enforce it. It is our job to police it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Annette is next, and then we'll go virtual public comment to David Keen.
Thank you so much. I'm Annette Humkeen. I'm also a resident of the area. I'm here today to, again, thank you, council, and thank you to be here. But I'm here today to oppose the alley abandonment. The abandonment serves 2 applicants only at the disadvantage of many others, as demonstrated by the petition of signatures that Kate put up a few minutes ago. Signatures by my neighbors who simply ask that existing conditions of the public ownership are retained without change. So we all like what's there. We don't need change right now for the benefit of 2 at the expense of many, many others. My opposition is that the abandonment puts enforcement of the proposed easements in the hands of neighbors. And we've been told this directly by the city, that if there's issues in the alley, the city doesn't have the resource to be there unless we notify them, which means we have to police that alley. This idea of the abandonment puts the enforcement, as I said, in our hands, in the neighbors' hands. And this really, to me, contradicts the meaning and the spirit of community. I don't want to police my neighbors. I don't want them to police me. I want us all to live in harmony. So as Dave shared, policing the alley has been ongoing and difficult and threatening to us personally. So we believe that the city should retain ownership. Privatizing the alley to make sure that the easements are followed will be an unfair hardship on neighbors like myself, my husband, and my community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will go virtual to David Keene with an A.
Yes, hello. My name is David Keene, Kean. I live at 4011 North 54th Place with my family. We live directly adjacent to the alleyway. We would be directly and deeply impacted by the abandonment, and we are opposed to the abandonment and urge the council to vote yes to approve the appeal. Thank you so much to everybody for your time.
Thank you. I believe that is all of our speakers. So I will close the public hearing and turn to Councilman Robinson.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a question before I make a motion or anything. Mr. Greenman?
Councilman Robinson.
Thank you. A couple of pictures that you put up, the two pictures you showed of the alley, they're slides 3 and 4. Can we get those back up real quick?
I'd love to.
I think, yes, that's the one. As I look at these pictures, the stars on, well, you see the stars on the two houses and such. The one just to the south on Calle Camellia, is that a true depiction of what the house looks like now? And the reason I ask, before you go too much further, the reason I ask, you look at that one, and then the picture that the city has taken, which wasn't all that long ago, it appears that it was under construction, and it appears there's a structure right up against the wall in the back alley. And I walked the alley earlier this week. I wanted to know more about it, knew this was coming up, and it appears that that structure is all finished. It could be an ADU. I didn't want to peer over the wall or anything like that, but it's right up against the wall. So I'm curious, you're showing one picture, the city has another picture. It appears that the house is finished. So is the house at 5401 East Calle Camellia, is it being occupied, am I giving the right address? 5440 East Calle Camellia, is it being occupied or is it occupied at the moment?
Mayor, members of council, Councilman Robinson, I can bring my client up. I believe he lives there currently with his family. That is correct. Now, if your question is regarding the setbacks themselves, Councilman, doing an abandonment also allows you to increase your lot coverage effectively. So it would allow other portions of that property to be built out with something like an ADU as well.
Okay, thank you. It's curious to me. It appears that has already been done. To me, I'm asking the question. It appears that additional coverage of the lot has already been accomplished. And based on the pictures, I'm just curious as to
Mayor,
why.
members of council, Councilman Robinson, respectfully, the standard we should be applying here is 3164, whether this is necessary as a public right-of-way, not whether my client has built an accessory structure at this point in time. I'd like to be explicitly clear there. I'd also, Honorable Mayor, if I may, am I able to respond to the concerns from the appellants?
We closed the public hearing, so I think at this point we are just council questions.
Understood.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'm ready to make a motion.
All right, Councilman.
Mayor, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Sorry,
Councilwoman
actually-
Hernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, I was going to ask if I could ask Mr. Greenman, because those are some pretty heavy concerns that the residents shared, or a lot of concerns. Can you address some of the things that were shared in public comment?
Mayor, members of council, Councilwoman Hernandez, I would absolutely love to. Importantly, the abandonment hearing officer also addressed these comments themselves with the series of stipulations. And they created a series of stipulations to leave the alley open to create a refuse easement, a pedestrian easement, a public utility easement, and a sewer easement. So for all intents and purposes, the alley itself will look exactly as it does now. There were questions about the enforceability of the easements. The easement holder, which would be the city of Phoenix, would be responsible for any sort of enforceability. This is exactly how the utilities and how the alleys currently are. So all of the current enforceability would consistently move forward. And our thought is this is a win-win. In relation to Mr. Keene and a contractor and dumping, I can't speak to that in any way, shape, or form. Truth be told, I'm not sure what to make of that. This seems a bit unneighborly, to be completely flat, Councilwoman. That being said, our goal was to work with the city and work with the people nearby to create a series of easements that allows this to stay open effectively as it does right now, while privatizing it and allowing my clients to potentially build ADUs, stuff like that.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. But do you see how that could be a little, I guess, like, how can we guarantee that to the residents that if we move forward with approving this abandonment, that, I guess, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. How is your applicant gonna address to make sure that that alley stays open, right? Because like what I'm hearing is that the neighbors want to make sure they still have access there. I mean, looking at some of the maps, the fact that, you know, they use that as a way to get out and walk and things like that. So is what I'm hearing that the plan is to, if the abandonment is approved, the alley would still remain open for the neighbors to use that?
Absolutely, Councilwoman Hernandez. That's exactly what the point of the stipulations are, to leave the alley open exactly as it is right now. And importantly, this gives the city of Phoenix the ability to remove this, to pull it if there are issues with it. And those easements are held in trust forever to the easement holders, which are the city of Phoenix. So the city will have the responsibility to work with the neighbors and the homeowners themselves, as they currently do, to make sure this area is clean, clear, and into perpetuity. So these easements don't go away. They stay there forever. And our goal in doing that is to allow the neighbors to have the access, to allow the trash vehicles to have the access forever. Our goal is not to close this, to gate it, to even move our walls back. Our goal is to enhance the area, create a private enforceability where they will be responsible for keeping it clear, just like you would your own neighbor's property. So our goal is to leave this open forever, and we were looking at this as a win-win with the abandonment hearing officer's decision, as well as the city staff's recommendation.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor. Thank you, Councilman Robinson. Okay, why don't we just go for the, do you want to just do the motion?
I was going to make a motion, yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. You know, we've obviously heard from several neighbors the petitions, and it's been discussed. There are several utilities that use the alleyway, including for current trash collection. And the city has no obligation to approve every alley abandonment application that's received. We just don't. And especially when we hear from so many impacted neighbors. Therefore, Mayor, I move to overturn the abandonment hearing officer's decision and deny the request for the abandonment.
Second. Well, that was enthusiastic. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Hearing the motion, do my colleagues still want to speak?
I just wanted to make a comment, and I think that probably the better route is to keep it under public domain. And then if you want to build an ADU, maybe work with your neighborhood and get support for a variance. And I think your hardship would be the argument of the alley. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilwoman Pastor.
I just want to make a comment because right now I am in the middle of dealing with one of these abandonment issues with neighbors. And the fact that there was an agreement, but now there's not an agreement because the property was sold. And there's a lot of dynamics that I'm dealing with right now regarding this. And the people that do get access are the utilities and the city, but it's very difficult for these neighbors to get to their sewer line, their tap line, in order to do the things that they need to do. So I'm just putting it on record. This is why I'm the second.
All right, roll call.
Guardado.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Mayor, may I explain my vote?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to vote no because I actually would side with staff recommendation with the stipulations. So today I vote no.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Stark? Waring? Hodge Washington?
Yes.
Gallego?
Yes.
Passes 8-1.
All right, we next move to item 153, which is consideration of a citizen petition, and we will welcome up Greg Turner, who provided the petition.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, City Council members. My name is Greg Turner, and I'm a born and raised resident of Phoenix. And thank you for your time and consideration on my citizen petition. I'm here regarding the intersection of 25th Avenue and Greenway, where Harriet Diamond lost her life being struck by an unlicensed, uninsured driver while crossing the street. That driver was never cited. And I didn't come here today to revisit litigation or assign blame or ask for compensation. I came here because some losses deserve acknowledgement. Harriet was a strong, independent woman and one of the kindest people I've ever known. She was deeply loved by her son, and the day that she was killed, had offered to give her a ride. She insisted on taking the bus, as she often did. He respected her independence and expected to hear from her later. That call never came. After her death, my friend endured something I hope most people will never have to experience. Over the course of the litigation, he was forced to repeatedly revisit the worst day of his life, including watching the footage of her death of that incident repeatedly. What surprised me most was not that the case was lost. It was hearing the suggestion that the relationship between Harriet and her son was somehow less meaningful than those who knew them and understood it to be, and that his pursuit of the case was primarily out of compensation. I felt as though a profound mother and son relationship had been reduced to a legal argument and a preventable death reduced to a matter of dollars and cents. I respectfully disagree with that view. The city of Phoenix has embraced Vision Zero, the principle that traffic deaths are not inevitable and that every life lost on our streets matters. I want to respectfully address a suggestion that it was been offered that adopt the seat. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for that important testimony. Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve the staff recommendation and deny the petition.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments?
Mayor, I would be happy to, I know that the street department has a adopt a street, and perhaps we can look at honoring this section of the street, maybe by adopting it, the family. So I'll be happy to work with them on that.
A great suggestion, Councilwoman. Thank you. That would be a really nice way to remember. Roll call.
Guardado?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Stark?
Yes, and Mr. Turner, we'll make sure we contact you to set this up. Thank you.
Waring? Hodge Washington?
Yes.
Gallego?
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Thank you. We'll now go to the final portion of our meeting, citizen public comment, and I'll turn to our city attorney to introduce this portion.
Thank you, Mayor. During citizen comment, members of the public may speak to the City Council for up to 3 minutes on issues of interest or concern. However, the matters addressed must be within the jurisdiction of the Phoenix City Council and on which the council has the authority to act. The citizen comment session is limited to 30 minutes. The Arizona Open Meeting Law allows the City Council to listen to comments but prohibits council members from discussing or acting on the issues presented. However, council members may respond to criticism. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll begin with Clarissa Peterson, followed by Randy Kelling and Jerry Van Gass.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members. I am with Elizabeth with Funds and Empowerment, and I live at the SOS shelter. And I'm gonna be talking about the pets that stay there and they don't have a voice or anyone to talk for them. It has to do with cleaning their dog yard and it's not sanitized and just hosing it down with water is not clean enough. And the cleaning people that does it doesn't know how to do it. And it's hot out there and nobody's not even providing no cooling pads for them either to be to cool off in their tents. Yeah, and I'm the one that usually puts up the waste bags for them on the fence. And I don't have a pet myself, but I do this for volunteering for that shelter. And thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Randy Kellen, followed by Jerry Van Gas.
Madam Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, thank you for your time to listen to me. I'm with Elizabeth, Funds for Empowerment. I want to say thank you very much for the ADA bathrooms for the SOS and everything. It was greatly appreciated. They have done started the construction and everything status for installing them. They are, however, not up to running as of yet, but it is very much greatly appreciated. Another thing I want to bring up, Saturday, the 13th and things, I don't know if you guys are responsible or not, but it was greatly appreciated for the food that was sent over there to the SOS. All right, things. Everybody really enjoyed it and things. One other issue I want to bring up, things, is the accountability. Okay, it's going to be discussed a little bit later, I think so. Right now, it's probably not the time to do it. But as far as for what is actually needed is carbon copies for accountability. To say, like, for instance, backup paperwork and things for things that need to be followed up on, things that are going wrong, or things that need to be improved on. But either way, I wanted to say thank you for everything as far as for the ADA. It was greatly appreciated, things. And thank you very much, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next, Jerry Van Gas, followed by Tim Sierakowski.
Good afternoon. Jerry Van Gas, president of Good Goat Government Oversight and Accountability Team. I'm here today to submit a citizen petition under the City Charter, Chapter 4 and Section 22. And it deals with submitting a request to change the name of Cesar Chavez Park to honor Jesse Owens. This action has to take place once it's submitted, and there's a copy for each of you, within 15 days. You know, one of my favorite words comes to mind, and it's convergence. And the city of Phoenix now is sitting on an opportunity. It's our 250th anniversary of this country. USA Today is doing a vote nationwide on the greatest athlete in various sports. Jesse Owens will undoubtedly be named the greatest track and field athlete ever in 250 years. He's already been named by USA Today as the most important athlete in our history. And we're also, the convergence is we have a 40-acre park with a lake that has to be renamed down at Cesar Chavez Park. And there's no better, an icon, a national icon we can name this for. Phoenix will look incredible because no other city is going to be able to do anything comparable. To name a park on our 250th anniversary on July 4th for a resident of Phoenix who, up to date, has never been honored with anything named after him in Phoenix by the city. I think I wouldn't even blink. This needs to be done. Thank you. And here are the copies.
Thank you. Tim is next, followed by Christina Tyler.
Tim Sierkowski, good afternoon. And it has been a long afternoon. I won't take up the whole 3 minutes. I just want to follow up with Jerry and say it really would be an honor to name something after one of the greatest athletes in American history. We have the opportunity here to really show the people of America how much pride we have in one of the greatest sports people and residents of Phoenix, Arizona. I think that we should just go forward, rename the park at this point, and make sure that everyone across the country realizes what respect that the individuals of Phoenix and the City Council have for such a great athlete. This is going to look great for us for the 4th of July, and I think we should have this done before the 4th of July. And I think this is one of the greatest things that this council could do for a citizen that is now dead in the city of Phoenix. Thank you.
Christina is next, followed by William Kirkland.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. My name is Christina Tyler, and I'm here today regarding the condition of Cesar Chavez Parks and several related public policy concerns. During my visit yesterday, I observed several issues that I believe deserve attention. I observed significant algae conditions within portions of the lake. I also spent time walking around the lake and observing multiple shoreline areas and did not observe any fish. Given that the lake is promoted as a fishing destination, the absence of any visible fish activity during my visit raised concerns regarding water quality, fish habitat conditions, and the overall health of the lake ecosystem. I also observed that there were no visible fishing line disposal stations around the lake. Discarded fishing line and fishing hooks can create a hazard for wildlife and injure bird, fish, duck, geese, and other animals. I observed damage and uneven pathways, including areas where tree roots have displaced sidewalks and brick walkways, creating accessibility concerns and potential trip hazards. I also observed drinking fountains that appeared damaged or outdated, restroom stalls without doors, and a missing American flag on a flagpole near the playground area. Overall, I believe the park would benefit from renovation and modernization throughout the property. To support that effort, I have prepared a photo report documenting existing conditions and a comprehensive future vision master plan that identifies opportunities for maintenance, accessibility improvements, wildlife conservation, recreation, sustainability, and community engagement. One of the most important immediate needs is a clear written process for wildlife rescue organizations to gain access to injured animals on park property, along with designated city contacts and approved response procedures. I believe the city should consider establishing a partnership program that allows qualified nonprofit wildlife rescue organizations and other authorized volunteers to provide emergency aid to injured wildlife when needed. Because wildlife emergencies are often time sensitive, I also believe there should be a fair and transparent appeals process for individuals or organizations denied access with expedited review whenever possible, ideally within 24 hours. In addition, shoreline and lake cleanup efforts should be expanded through partnerships between city staff, wildlife organizations, fishing groups, environmental organizations, and community volunteers to remove discarded fishing line, hooks, and debris before they harm wildlife or negatively affect water quality. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. William is next, followed by Elsia Greer Hurtado.
Good afternoon, Mayor. My name is William D. Kirkland. I'm with Miss Elizabeth. I'm just an old vet. You know, I ain't about worth a hill of beans, but I'm going to tell you something. There's been a big difference out there at SOS where I'm at, and I want to thank every one of y'all for that. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. So, you know, and there's a little accountability needs to be done with the staff and all, but that's, you know, and everything. But the water, the ice, oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. Each and every one of you. I mean, I don't know which one of y'all does it or which one you don't, but from my heart, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Elsia Greer Hurtado, followed by Eric Richardson. If you want to use the lower microphone,
Okay, right here.
Yep.
Okay, my name's Elsia Greer, and I'm currently residing at the SOS and have been for 2 years, a little over 2 years. And first I want to tell you, Mayor, thank you for the ADA, the extra ADA bathrooms, but I also want to talk about getting them up and running because they're not running yet, even the one that we had before. And then I also wanted to ask if you could make more ADA available into our X-wings, which I'm at, but my wheelchair can't go out inside because it's upstairs. You climb like 3 steps to get up it. So that's what I wanted to come here and say thank you very much for the extra, but if they could get up and running, I'd appreciate it.
Wonderful, and I thank you, and I think our staff may be able to offer an update on the timeline for that. So
Okay.
appreciate that. Eric is next, followed by Lee Ellis.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Eric Richardson, and I also represent Funds for Empowerment, and I'm also a current resident at SOS. And also like to thank, I don't know if this was you all responsibility for this past Saturday about the dinner. We had some volunteers that gave us a wonderful dinner. We had like a lasagna dinner, and I kind of really appreciated myself personally because it was like the week after my birthday. My birthday was June 6th, so I do that as a post, I guess, birthday dinner. But anyways, though, back to the matter. I guess I wanted to also talk about, I guess, accountability at SOS as far as the staff members there, basically. Not saying it's a big issue with the staff members, but it's just the way they handle things. Personally, I've seen people get like exited from the SOS, and it's supposed to be a place to keep people off the streets that are homeless and everything like that. And I just think there should be a better procedure when people get exited, basically, because I'm hearing some people saying that they got kicked out, you know, for little simple stuff that could have been prevented, or maybe they didn't even do. I just feel like, as residents there, I'm concerned for even myself, even though I don't have any disciplinary problems. But I mean, like, anytime I could get exited and can't even fight, that's basically what I'm talking about. If there could be some procedure where we get to, I guess, if we feel like, what I'm trying to say, if we like feel like we're done wrong, if we got exited, we should be able to fight that. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. There should be some type of procedure for that, and that's basically all I got to say. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Lee is next, followed by David Morgan.
Hello, thank you for your time. I stay at SOS, so I'd like to thank you guys for hearing us out. We still do have a problem with the showers. We're down to 3 showers out of 6, so we could use another shower trailer. I'd like to see if you guys can even bring in some more resources for not only housing, but job opportunities like the worker. Some of us aren't allowed to go on a cast where the worker is and where DES is. So if they can implement a few more of those programs to the SOS shelter, it'd be great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. David is next, followed by Jeremy Thacker. All right, Jeremy is next, followed by Victor Sanchez.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I just wanted to talk about the renaming of the park as well. When Jerry told me about the survey, I was surprised that we would put out a survey like this that's going to put out illegitimate results no matter what. When you put out a survey with names on it, then the chance of a response from somebody writing in something other than the names given is 8%. So whatever write-ins you get for Jesse Owens should be multiplied times 12 or so to get an actual where it would be if we put the name on there to start. So this town doesn't have it's not an old town. We've got very little history. We had one of the greatest athletes ever, a world hero that went up against and stood in front of Hitler and really challenged that in front of the entire world. And we can celebrate that. Or we can name the park after a cow, is the other option, one of the names given. I recommend we take this opportunity to celebrate one of the biggest names in the city's history. So, thanks.
Thank you. Victor is next, followed by Michael Morris.
Good afternoon. My name is Victor Sanchez. Thank you for hearing us. I would like to comment about the transportation. There's other cities like Tempe. They have like Dash. It's a free bus ride. If we could have like a couple of more, maybe up north or east or south. I struggle myself getting bus passes, so I got to pay. If we have those transportations, being the third largest city, maybe we could have an extra bus or two. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victor. Michael is next, followed by Tina Wright. Michael Morris, if you could indicate if you're present. All right, I do not see Michael Morris. Tina Wright, followed by Tony Hill. Tina, could you indicate? All right, is Tony Hill here? Okay. Elizabeth Venable, followed by David Benefiel.
I also wanted to echo the comments about it's nice that the SOS lot. Oh, Elizabeth Venable from Empowerment. I don't really get compensated that much though, so does it count? Anyways, I think that it's important to have that facility be ADA compliant just as much as any other facility in the city of Phoenix. And so I'm glad that you have made those kinds of investments and are making those kinds of investments. And I'm glad that there's a little bit more dignity in the SOS lot. I'm glad that people feel listened to. And that's a wonderful thing. I wanted to say something similar that I said last time, which is that it's important to think about these spaces being effective and efficient so that you get, again, the greatest return out of your large investment that you're making out of the general fund. And I think it's important to look at the exits and the effectiveness of sort of like having capricious kind of exits that set people back over small minor violations in protocols. It's sort of like in establishing a new employee. Once you have a new employee, you have to train the employee every single time, integrate them into, and it's an extra amount of resources to do every new individual. That's sort of random, What I'm saying is that if you can be more successful with the exits, you get more of a return. And so, potentially you could look at data gathering to find out, what is limiting those exits, or look at why some of the success rates are not that high. Because there's only so much that the individual can be, that it's the individual's fault for not having a successful exit. And the exits in the other programs the other facilities are higher than in the SOS slot. So it's not something that is, I think there's some problems with some of the disciplinary stuff, but I think that the exits are worse in the SOS lot. And I think if you gather data on that, it might be more efficient.
Thank you so much. David is next, followed by Michelle Combs. David Benefiel, Benefiel. All right, Michelle Combs, are you present? All right, did I get everyone? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Appreciate the opportunity to speak and to share my story.